Hello, chat. How are we doing today? Hello, whoops, brah. Howdy there, Jack of the Frost. Howdy, Soundwave. Hello, Emox. I'm actually asleep. Hello. Hello. I didn't miss anybody, right? I said every whoops, Jack of Frost, Soundwave, Jack of Frost. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. And hello to everyone filtering their way, and hello to VOD watchers. Hello. I'm fresh from the shower, so when I turn on the camera, my hair is wet. Oh, I look like a dweeb. I look like an absolute dweeb. I'm gonna fix that at least. Also swinging by for a bit to say hello, otherwise I'm good. Mew, you need to fix your sleep schedule. Hello, Ash. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm wearing that good, boom, Moomin Rider, best character in One Punch Man. Best character. Poison type's favorite type. Poison type's great. Poison type's great. Too surprising. I was about to go to sleep. Oofda. Oofda boofda. Hey, you know what? People gotta go to sleep. Go to sleep. Don't let me stop you. Don't let me stop you from going to sleep. Get that good, healthy schedule. Surprising when people are sleepy. Hi, bye, 2K, say Rumbo. Y'all still get a hi. Hi there, Siri. It's not the sleep schedule. It's about having a uterus. Ah, that is also true. That is also true. See, Emox, thank you for being here. Sleep well. Sleep. For everybody who's popping in, hello and goodbye. And rest easy. The weekend is almost here, and it's okay. Tomorrow is Star Signs, 8:30 p.m. CST. Hope you're ready for that. That's going to be great. I'm excited. Biggins is going to be there, who has a channel now. You should go subscribe to Biggins, literally BIGNNS. Go subscribe. Biggins. Thunderzolt, who also creates Pokemon content. His is a lot shorter, but he might have some stuff in development. And then Heals for Life, who doesn't have a channel, but is a great guy. He's a great guy, the first member of this channel. But today, we're gonna go through some more Pokemon Ecology, but we're dealing with the toxic world, right? We're dealing with like the Burn Mansion. We're dealing with the cyclist roads. Because fun fact, if you look at any cyclist road, you're gonna find Gulpin. You're gonna find Grimer. You're gonna find Muck. You might find a Coughing. You know what I mean? You might find a Coughing there, and as such, there's some pollution happening in those areas, and we can study the ecology going on in all of that. What are the Rattata doing there? Why are there Coughing and Grimer typically found together? Do they have a symbiotic relationship? Maybe. And look at Trubbish. If there's not a Grimer, you're typically gonna find a Gulpin, and on top of all that, there might be some Trubbish running around. Bada bing, bada boom. If you give me your stuff, I'll have 3 pledged to me. I'll be the ultimate trans woman. This is to go even further beyond. You can have mine too. I don't need it. So 4, 5. So that's 5. That's 5. The famed Super Saiyan 5, the Super Uterus 5. That sounds like a weird band. That sounds like a strange band, right? The Super Uterus 5. I think it's like because of the Jackson 5 or a thing. Psychosaur of Oris, you can find both Trubbish and Gulpin. Facts. Trubbish is if... Oh, here comes the pen. Trubbish is if you put in... Or no. Trubbish is after you have caught Groudon and Kyogre as a special encounter. Amongst a couple of other ones. Really trippy band. And Oddish. Yes, I remember Oddish being there. Let's put on ducks for you guys. Let's put on some ducks. Let's get schmoovin' and groovin' here, shall we? Let's get schmoovin' and let's get groovin'. Wish I didn't shave so much of my beard. I keep looking at myself and I'm like, man, I think I shaved too much of the beard. I don't want the Elgato. I want game capture of plastic duck. Wow, that's all I ever capture with video game anymore. That's all well, I didn't need to move myself, it turns out. That's all I ever do. That's all I ever capture with video game anymore, huh? Really. When do you stop being a gamer? When do you stop being a gamer? Poison goes for anything venomous, toxic, or pollutive, right? For the most part, yeah. So it's less about me talking about all the poison type Pokemon and more talking about the pollution of the Pokemon. What is Coughing doing in the Fiery Path? Coughing is found in the Fiery Path in one of the 2 of the mountains, and typically once you're a gamer, you don't stop. Oh, there it is. Whoops, bro, got you. Volcanoes have smog buildups. Hey there, Ruby. Basically, You're going to have the smog buildup, because otherwise, when you look at it, you might find a little bit of Grimer, but that's probably because of some level of refuse here and there, because within the fiery path that's right below the gondola that goes up that people take. And typically, whenever you find that sort of thing, you're going to get a little bit of trash. But they have Grimer have a very small population there, because the environment itself is likely very sterile. So the Grimer are likely, even though we don't find it right by the gondola, are moving down and away. And then from there, they're just seeking that level of refuge, only to just get completely sterilized, essentially, and die. And then they have like a 15% encounter within the fiery path. Whereas coughing, I think, also has a 15, maybe 20. My friends, my girlfriends, and my cousin. About to explode. Actually, I do talk about that. There's likely a higher sulfuric content of these coughing within those areas. In addition to carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, yeah, and just general smog, I suppose. That would allow those coughing that are found in the fiery path to likely explode easier. An infernal pass in Kitakami as well. Yep, another perfect example. Okay, also very toxic, fumes heavy. Yes. Hey there, Astrophil. Corbo Guy and Zia reminds me of versatility to 5e fighter. You must have amazing consistency. Yeah, we had the same thought. Most interesting about volcanoes is the ash, not the lava. I just realized, you guys. Facts, first off. Second off, you guys couldn't hear the splish splash. There you go. I'm just gonna talk with you guys for a while. And then I'll keep studying. What's interesting about volcanoes is ash, not the lava. Japanese style, the whole rust syndicate really makes me think he's related to Kieran. Oh, absolutely. If you look at Kieran, so somebody already figured it out before I did. Kieran, the sister I can never remember the name of, and Corbo, their Japanese names all come from a family of the same plant. If you look at their eyes are all the same. And I don't see anybody else talking about it, but Corbeau seems to have a very similar motif in design to Pheasantipity. I feel like I don't remember if I put it in my server. I know I put it in 2 different servers, but I don't think I ever talked about it in my server. Now I think about it. Oops. But yes. Mega Arbok is probably going to be a thing. Probably. That's my bet. I'm throwing the pin, right? Mega Arbok, Mega Scrafty, Mega Starmie. Those are my 3 bets that are going to be for sure megas, right? Yeah. Otter is probably the only grass type to coexist with a poison type because of its own poison types. Same goes for other grass poison types. When you say coexist, probably not with Gulpin. Probably not with Muck, because it's still a plant in the end. The poison primarily comes from its spores, which is why it's a poison type, I believe. I could be wrong. That's the way I've always interpreted it, though. New member of the Loyal 3 confirmed? I'm not sure. That would be a interesting poll, but I don't know for sure on that one, because the Loyal 3 was a perversion on the idea of everybody getting their wishes in Paldea, right? Paldea, the whole idea is you get a wish, you find your treasure, you are with your friends, you become a great, like, you fight the titans, so on and so forth, right? Dreams and wishes. Even though the future and past Paradox Pokemon are not officially, they are not created by dreams and wishes. Nevertheless, a lot of it, hey there, Fanica, the idea is that they are all being, like, your dreams are becoming a reality. Meanwhile, Kieran and the Loyal 3 have their own dreams and wishes, and it's a perversion on all of that for the negative, is all that it is. It's good storytelling. I did not find that out myself. Somebody else, I cannot remember who, was the one to bring that up to me, and I'm 100% on that. Basically means light of sun in Hindi. Really? Corbo looks like Orochimaru's sound Jonin disguise on the Chunin exams. Arbok, Weezing, and Kimbat are on Kitakami too, so it makes sense to have them on display for his homeland. Yup. So it's really tied together, right? ZA is going to have a lot of tiny details of this is their eyes, this is their hair, so on and so forth, right? This is what they're going to be. This is what, like, who's related to who. Some of the obvious ones people have already thrown out, right? Some of the obvious ones people have already figured out. Awesome, great, beautiful. The interesting part is going to be seeing what characters, if any two characters we already know, had a child together and how that child turns out. Because, like, you get Penny. You would have, you know, you don't, like, that one was not obvious. Penny was not obvious. Or, what's the girl that's Elsa and, Rich Cowboy Miners, Clay. Clay's kid. I forgot her. But, she is also somebody who is not obvious, right? Plenty of other ones that are fairly obvious, but those two come to mind when I think of people who are not obvious, to the tune of it's raining tacos. Been begging for Arbok to have usable stats for ages now. I'm hoping we get it. Arbok and Weezing. Give both of the Megas. Both of them. Give Weezing its third head. Give Arbok, like an ever-changing hood. That sounds ballin', right? Petrovon goes to France. Do-do-do-do-do! For sure, Arbok is only his first Pokemon. If that's the case, then it might not get a Mega. Or you'll fight him again later and he'll have a Mega. He seems like he could be reoccurring. I could be wrong. I hope he is. He seems too cool of a character, in my personal opinion. Too cool of a character. Tropicos is shaped like a dream catcher. That I've never put two and two together, but that makes actually perfect sense. Yeah, because you have like the seaweed coming off and everything like that. 1,000-year-old turtle and all that good stuff. What are these details? Do tell. I haven't been keeping up at all. I talked about it I did react to the ZA trailer in the last stream that I did. It was a great time. I also made a short all about Mega Dragonite. Loved Mega Dragonite, actually. Super simple. It's effective. It's Hermes. It's straight up Hermes. It flies faster. It has wings on its head. It's benevolent. It is a god now. It is a demigod. Whatever. It's Hermes. It is straight up Hermes, or, you know, as I joke about in the video, the do not be afraid, biblically accurate angel BS. When I was little, I read and I survived about Pompeii and I couldn't finish because the W? Uh-oh. Eruption was an unexpected and lava made into town. Pompeii was dangerous because earthquakes and ash smothering. Yeah, Pompeii was terrifying. I say, having totally not been there. I'm going to take a drink to, you know, yeah, sure. I just have a huge conspiracy board leading to a new corrupted Zygarde Pokemon. I wasted 3 hours. My fan name would be Abigeddon. Abigeddon sounds fun. Tons of theories going on about Zygarde and Guzzlord being one and the same. I'm going to talk about that in this video that we're doing research on today. I've talked about it in the Iceberg video. I've mentioned it in like 2 other videos. It's fun. Do I necessarily believe it? It is what it is. You know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. People believe what they will. I have to mention it in this next video because I have to mention the corrupted Alola that was completely destroyed by pollution. The Tapus lose their power for nature, and then Guzzlord comes in, bam, bam, boom, destroys everything, and then from there, you know, done. Let's see. Team Rocket comes back with Mega Weezing and Arbok. I'd be so down for that, dude. I'd be so down. Silver definitely doesn't look like Giovanni. Silver takes more after, assumedly, his mother, Mars. Mars? No, not Mars. I am so sorry. That is a vast, nope, horribly incorrect. I forgot her name. It's not Mars. That is the horribly incorrect name. You know who I'm talking about, though. Mega Flygon might have a chance now. Issue about Mega Flygon is, the only reason it wasn't created was because of artist block. Flat out. Artist block. Confirmed. That's the only reason. Well, primary reason. I shouldn't say only reason. So, maybe. Wish Mega Dragonite was given a longer body, but I do like it. Regardless, excited to see the new Megas, like the Kalos Stars. I swear to God, they better get the better. Give them Megas. Give them Megas. Give the Kalos starters Megas. Give our ZA starters Megas. Go. Right? Go. Eruption's unexpected. Oh, yeah, I already read that out loud. Watched the Dragonite, didn't watch anything else. There's other fun stuff in there. Hermes is like Mercury, right? Somebody else confirmed that. I didn't know that. Mega Weezing can have crystallized sulfur growing out of its gas holes. gas holes is funny. But why not? Yeah, sure. That'd be a fun little detail. I can't wait for Mega Charizard A and Z. That's what I'm curious about. We're going to have... So we are going to have... So, gosh, two things with this. Two things. I know we're talking so much, but it's so cool. There are two things with this. Mega Pokemon technically occur naturally now within the Legends ZA game because of the Rogue Megas, because there's Mega Crystals. You collect them, you bring them back to Quasartico, and they're going to make you Mega Stones. So we have artificial Mega Stones as well, based on my understanding of how that works. There's that. Video pump fade in real time using geological evidence. All the different stages of eruption over several months. It's really cool. Don't tell me like that. One with red hair. I don't like the idea of Guzzlord being Zygarde. It basically undermines how strong Zygarde is. The theory is fun. I don't think it undermines how strong Zygarde is. Because it's not... The idea then is that Guzzlord is not a 100% Zygarde. It could be, but it's definitely a corrupted version where the idea of Zygarde... The strongest claim, other than their visual similarities, is that Zygarde's goal is to eliminate whatever is causing a great issue to nature itself and the balance of, right? So... what if the pollution is so bad, it's in the water, it's in the land, it's in the air, it's everywhere. It's so bad you literally cannot eliminate the physical aspect of pollution. Well, you transform into something that can. Guzzlord literally eats the seas, the earth, the mountains. It can literally eat anything and everything, and it does not produce waste. It doesn't produce waste, which is very interesting. A lot of other Pokemon, lots of other Pokemon produce waste. It does not. Right. Bye, Frog Jr. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. Team Rocket Ariana, yes. Mega Pokemon have always occurred naturally, at least for Rayquaza. Okay. My definition of naturally is that they don't occur unless a trainer is there to help them turn into a Mega Pokemon, right? Rayquaza is the exception to that when it eats enough Mega Stones or meteorites that contain that excessive energy, but that excessive energy would not exist if AZ did not use the ultimate weapon. So, theoretically speaking, there's nothing natural about Mega Pokemon. Zero. There is zero things natural about Mega Pokemon at all. Right? Like, if we're talking pure nature, humans were never there. Mega Pokemon may have existed as non-Megas for some of them, like Altaria, for Aerodactyl, for Dragonites here in some capacity, potentially. For Rayquaza, definitely, or at least potentially. But in terms of true natural, no. Like, actual Mega Pokemon, no. Based on, like, the information that we do have. No Mega Greninja would overlap with Ash Greninja, which is already very similar to the Mega. Yeah, it kind of is. I wonder if they just soup it up, which is kind of dangerous to say. Gengar is both Mega and Gigantamax, though, so it's still probable. Imagine getting a Mega Arceus, but literally nothing changes. Zygarde is just a Digimon. Porygon 2, if we get evidence, it could go back and forth between evolutions. Well, I guess it hasn't been shown to do that, has it? Will Ultra Beast be included in the Toxic Eco list? I didn't intend to, but I will be including Guzzlord. The rest of them don't seem to have a... They're more of the invasive species types, which is why I include them in the invasive species video. Less than they are toxic for an environment. Guzzlord is a great example of people blaming Guzzlord when it's technically not. It's just Guzzlord was the elbow drop on Alola, essentially. Lore-wise, strong. I am okay with it not being pure Zygarde. Okay, well, there we go. Mega Arceus would be Almighty Sinnoh itself, probably. Yeah, which isn't even a Pokemon, safe to say. Level 3 Patrat is cooked. I love how humans have billions of cells, but complete Zygarde only has 100. That's all it needs, baby. Sorta Rayquaza is interesting. Lucario was technically the first Pokemon to Mega Evolve with a human. Facts. Not even technically, it just was. Based on the lore we've been told. Ghostwater has 100% digestion, basically. Creative Steve, which could be damaged. Yeah, actually, that's actually pretty good. That's an apt description. Normally, human channels infinite energy to a Mega Pokemon, but in the case of ZA, supposed experiments are channeling it into wild Pokemon by accident. Yeah, it seems like whatever's happening, the excessive energy is in crystallized, readily available form, and they're ingesting these crystals, and once you ingest enough crystals, you Mega Evolve. Don't know if that's temporary or permanent. If it's permanent, holy shit! That's insane. That would be insane. Because we haven't been told if it's permanent or temporary. I assume it's temporary. But my god, can you imagine if it was permanent? You just eat enough of these crystals and you just permanently Mega Evolve? I doubt it. Right? I doubt it. Big cells. Like a lot of people examine Pokemon cosmology through a Christian lens, and I wonder how much we can understand through a different framework. Luckily I've met a lot of people, and myself. I've looked at Hindu. I've looked at Greek mythology. I've looked at the Christian lens and everything like that. So we're good there on at least my end and a couple of people that I've collaborated with, or at least worked alongside. Do you think there's someone that saw a 10% dog Zygarde and just like, oh, puppy, proceeded to pet it like a weird furfrou? I would have. That's my ancestor. Easily. Website mentions how the rogue Megas are in extreme pain, which checks out. It's the whole reason for Megas needing bonds is to subside that pain that comes with transformation. Yes, you need that control. So that's cool. That then double helps or double confirms the idea that you don't want to Mega Evolve before you're ready. Right? All those things, all those entries about Pokemon being in pain are from incorrectly done Mega Evolutions, which causes them pain, causes destruction, causes just horrible things to happen. Lucario goes on a rampage, so on and so forth, right? All these different things, all these different ideas that can basically happen. And now with those crystals, we basically got confirmation. Beautiful! Pokemon's a mix of several mythos, facts, pause acrylic video to lurk in acrylic live stream. Hey, there's Summon Slot. Thank you for being here. Also, I need that laser Pokemon from India or could be from. I'll do that, and then I should probably actually begin research. Technically, Arcanine, if you want to go by the original. We have Arcanine. We have Copperajah. We have Gumshoes. I forgot it's pre-form, but we have Gumshoes. We have... Why is that paused? Who said you could pause? We have... I should also put on music. But listen to a lot of rustage. Focus. Where is... You know what? I kind of want some... Hollow Knight boss themes right now. I've been listening to the Freerun OST. God, I love Freerun so much. It's a bit loud. That's a bit loud. Arcanine, Copperajah, Gumshoes. Ruinous Quartet are from China. I'm forgetting the rest. I'm gonna put those three for now. If I remember more later. Looks at Zygarde. That's a cool dog. Zygarde 100%. Have you seen the Mega Crystals on the website? They're pink just like Deontay. Yes, and the Anastar Sundial, which someone confirms that infinite energy is leaking into the city, causing rogue Megas. I hope we get a final answer on these pink crystals. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Nah, the acrylic rambling is all the white noise I need right now. Hey there, Dino. Zygarde cells may be much bigger than regular cells, but they're still small enough to fit in your hand. I don't think 100 of them would be realistically enough to make a mon as giant as 100% Zygarde. They've got some weird stuff going on. Free OSTMG, hell yeah, yeah! Oh, hold on. I've got something. Hold on. There's a chunk of you that don't realize how much I like free rent. I gotta take this off of my wall. Also, I might have become ever so slightly more enamored with Freerin because, like, part of her personality reminds me of my fiance. But, like, look at that. Look at that piece of work right there. That's just beautiful piece of rice paper, traditional Japanese style, and then printed or then copied. Like, beautiful. The only one that I would absolutely simp for. Like, and day in, day out, right? Day in, day out, I would simp for a Freerin every day. Freerin's personality just gets me right in the right in the gray matter. Corfish was also important. Yeah, Corfish was imported to a couple different places as a pet. I talk about that in the invasive species video, but we don't know where Corfish is actually from. Wet Strokes makes more sense if you've seen Dogs in Love. I have not. Considering how the Rogue Mega's auras are mostly pink, it seems Infinity Energy's hue seems to be naturally pink, aside from being rainbow most of the time. Color is important in Pokemon. I have no comment on that. I'm very curious to see where that goes. So cool, pretty yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm so happy with like that. I got that 2 years ago, I want to say. 2 years ago. Somewhere in that range. Don't Zygarde cells shrink when in numbers? So Zygarde isn't a Titan who could rival Cthulhu, the old one of the outer edges. I have no idea. I don't know if I'd think too much about how that bad boy functions. I mean, Zygarde, how do you function? Doesn't want to talk. Like, Zygarde does not want to talk. You see that? He's just sitting at the top. Does not want to talk. It's as simple as that. Does not want to talk. All right, I need to lower this for myself just a little bit. I need to move you guys. Hey there, Savior. And then I need to actually begin working further. Actually, I'm gonna pop out chat. There we go. Now I can read you guys easier. I'm gonna put you guys right over here. I'm gonna put my ecology stuff right there. Perfect. All my notes are gonna be on my left, where you guys are. Hey there, Sandwich Boss. How you doing? Duck's Love is a comedy series made by Jello Apocalypse of him and his friends playing XD and Coliseum and coming up with personalities for all the Pokemon. That's an oldie. I stepped. Jello Apocalypse. That's a funny one. That's a funny one. Got dragged so hard. Friend's personality is great. Love her whole wise beyond anyone's years and intelligent dumb status. She gets stuck in thousand mimic checks. They nailed it in the idea of every single time. Like, she's not perfect, but her wisdom shows. Her wisdom and intelligence really shows. Or intelligence really shows. Charisma is a hard dump stat for sure with her. But gosh, I did. As the plots go through of the story, the show does an amazing job. I'm ready for season 2. I'm amazed I haven't started reading the manga yet, but that's also probably because I'm at almost 600 chapters in One Piece. It's been about 50 days. I might be addicted. Okay, I might be addicted. Biggins and Mew might have gotten me addicted. Maybe it's like Infinity Energy part that makes Mega possible is pink, but no Gigantamax. Gigantamax contradicts that. I guess we'll find out. Right? I guess we'll find out. It's one of those things where it's like, we'll get there. There's a lot of speculation. I try not to speculate too hard without really solid evidence. You know what I mean? Hey there, Basil Bay. Such a great name still. Freeman's so good. My favorite. My Hero Academia was way up there for me, probably because I grew up going through college with it. But when Freeman came out and I watched it, I cried twice in the first episode, twice in the second episode. Not teared up, I cried. So, like, yeah, I love Freeman. I love Freeman so much. Never mind, let's ZA. We need Pokemon Secret of Zygarde. Alola in space. That's it. That's the ZA game. Looking up at the peak crystals turn out to be a Locrium. That's what I'm partially hoping for. Sorry for the game's reference anime, but it's also really cool when they do. The issue with Locrium is that it doesn't deal with Mega. But if it is, we got a whole different ball game going on. Freeman reads to be autistic. She is... I don't know if she's autistic. She's definitely not antisocial. She's... Because she understands... She learns to express. She just doesn't communicate, right? She's never had a reason to... She's like, I live 3,000 years. You live 100. If I sit here and if I get attached to you, what is that going to do to me? You're going to die. Oh, cool. We completed what we needed to do. I'm going to go learn more. You know what's eternal? Knowledge. Knowledge is eternal. I'm going to go learn, right? I'm going to go learn. And then finally, she starts realizing the importance of it all because of survivor's guilt. People die. And it's like, oh my God. This hurts. Because I should have made a better connection. And then she starts to. And she's like, oh, I'm not great at this. But I'll keep trying anyway. Just got done obsessively cleaning my kitchen floors after the organic trash bin was full of maggots. Nope, I hate maggots. I can't do maggots, man. I cannot do maggots. We had like 17 flies in the house because it hit like almost 100 degrees today. And it was cold in the house, and so the flies from outside were trying to get inside, and I went feral. I'm not even joking. I went full feral because the last thing I want are maggots. I cannot do it. I will punch a maggot. I'm not even joking. Just a girly going with the wind based off of her hyperfixations. That I could get behind. 100%. Hyperfixates hard on knowledge and everything like that. Only toxic thing I see here is like, why? Why the drive-by? Hey there, Fatty. Man, I could see some level of neurodivergence potentially. Not so bad today. Oh no. She brained her way into being depressed. Yeah, kinda. It's that realization. We're gonna be like, Arceus, I made sorry, it was difficult to put this all together, but unfortunately something went wrong, and now I can't do anything but sing this stupid song. Rin sounds really good, but it sounds like it would trigger my existential dread. The first 2 episodes might. And, there is one point in it. It doesn't do so in a negative way. I think a very beautiful part about it, whether you believe or don't believe, I'm a person who does believe, and I respect those who don't, in a greater being, is that there's a point where Freeman doesn't, right? And the priest that's in there and a couple of other people flat out say, yeah, I only believe because it's convenient. Well, you know, if I die, it sounds like it would be such a waste for everything to stop existing, right? It feels like, you know, all this energy, all this life that I've had, all the things that I did, the suffering that I went through, the joy that I went through, it'll all be for nothing. So it seems most convenient for there to be an afterlife and for me to believe in it. And for me, that's partially the case. I'm also, I also don't have existentialism. I take a lot of comfort in the fact that one day I will die and everything I know will everything related to me will cease to exist. Good, bad, doesn't matter. I'm just going to go be a good person and do what I want to do. If I make a mistake, it'll be erased eventually in time, right? That makes my life so much easier. You can label me as a cheerful nihilist. I am 1000% a cheerful nihilist. Nothing matters! Yeah, that's me, right? Not to hopefully trigger that. Same reason for me to believe. Highly recommend getting a carnivorous plant for the flies. I've thought about it. Especially the pitchers or a sticky leafed one. I got a little butterwort for the mosquitoes and she's been a godsend. I wanted to do fly traps, but they feel like they die so fast. So if those will live decently well, I would be happy with grabbing one of those sometime soon. Because I take care of a couple of different plants in the house. I mean, I've got a couple, like, right over there by the window. Trying to punch out my existential OCD. I will stop talking about it. Hopefully that doesn't, you know, cause any problems there. I apologize. I should have been more, cognizance of it, is what I should have done. Phone screen is on black and white, so half of the rubber duckies are pretty much invisible in the water. What? Also hate maggots. One time I took a big bite into one of the snacks I always ate, and it was full of maggots. I feel like it's just a chat stream at this point, man. Which, whatever, who cares? I'm ahead on my work this week. I don't care. I'll keep writing and researching soon enough. Regardless of all our fates, we still have the things that make us happy, so why not focus on that in life? There we go. Well said. Optimistic nihilist. Nothing matters, so we should be as good as possible because it's our only life, and we might as well make good of it. Most of it. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. That also works. I'm behind that. I'm behind that. I'm 100% behind that. Be good to people. Be nice. Learn. One thing that alright, I'll say this last thing. That's my one of my mottos of life. It's not really a motto because you can't really, you know, what is the point of me learning the secrets of the universe if it means that I die with it, right? If I could learn a billion things, but if nobody else knows about it because I didn't tell anybody about it, it's a waste of my life. I've ruined the idea of knowledge. Knowledge is meant to be shared, right? Knowledge is not meant to be hidden away or destroyed. I don't care. I'm chaotic in that nature, right? I'm absolutely chaotic in that nature. Obviously, you don't want things that make people go insane, you know, that type of forbidden knowledge. That's different. But like, yeah, I just, if I learn something, my next job is to share it. If I become wealthy from YouTube, my job is to share that wealth, to help improve other lives, right? I will not die with everything that I gain. I would rather die with, I would rather be on my deathbed and have nothing because I got rid of it. So I gotta catch a flight. Oh my goodness. Have a good flight, safe flight. You got this. Think of birds. I don't know why I told you to think of something. Have a good trip. Sleep on the plane. I don't know how to go with this. I made a mistake. I made this weird. Research, we're here for a tangent. No, I don't think I will get into explaining all the philosophy due to its length in my counter. ADC, I'm incurable. Oh, don't worry about being curable. That's a, I don't want to say that's a stupid thing because that's dismissive. Being autistic, having ADHD or anything along those lines, having OCDs, having bipolarism or anything along those lines, having, you know, whatever. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Right. It's your brain just is different. That's it. Your brain is, it's not, I guess, whatever they want to call neurotypical. Your brain just has a different matter or a different way of going about life, and that's the way to think about it. Don't think of it as a curable disease. That sounds, that's something that society used to do, and that's something that pissed me off in the past. Yeah. That's don't do that to yourself. I think the fly traps are really fragile, so 100% pitchers or sticky carnivorous ones. I will have to talk to the lady and see what she says then, because I would love a pitcher plant. I have seen natural pitcher plants in certain swamps one swamp within Wisconsin, which I was very shocked by. Get sundew. Ooh, sundews I've also seen in person in the wild. It's all good. I'm a master of dissociation, making jokes that make neurotypical people look at me weird. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Dog being a living weighted blanket. Oh, I miss my weighted blanket sometimes. I got rid of it because I lived in a moldy apartment and before I moved in with Anna, and gosh, yeah, I now know what those smells were like. Mewtwo should be the equivalent of Giratina in ZA. In Phase 2, it Mega Evolves into either X and Y, depending on whether your team is vulnerable to physical or special. That'd be actually sick. That'd actually be kind of sick. I don't know about Mewtwo. I don't know if I'd want Mewtwo there, though. Genesect. Why Genesect? Because. Why not? Pull it. Do it. Do it. Pull it. Bro would be the Attica Smedry. Who is that? Brain doesn't like to think at all. I feel that at the end of the day. People always talk about curing autism and ADHD make me angry because it's that easy to just accept that people are different. The people are different and that society should adapt and not be so rigid. Yeah, the idea of curing it is, there is, there are... Take this with a grain of salt. There are claims that there are parts of the brain all that creates, like, sensory issues and a lot of that stuff, right? And that there's ways to help with that through things like hyperbaric oxygen therapy, apparently. I haven't looked into it enough to really, like, and I don't think it's studied enough for me to actually say it's real or true necessarily. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't know. There's those claims, and I'm just like, but, I talk first as I'm thinking about what I'm saying next. I have learned, because I had to, because I fly by the seat of my pants, and, I'm very much someone who, I function on logic, but move with emotion. And if I don't stop to think before I say something out loud, it's just not... I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing, right? To convey my messages. Wait a minute. So the way you described it, my brain is shiny brain? Sure. Why not? Spicy brains for some people. Learn to live with Asperger's really helps with learning about the series and universe I like. Maybe I should focus on some of the learning more IRL stuff. Do what you want, man. I don't really know much about Asperger's. I gotta be real. I just know the word. That's it. I'm ignorant on that. Completely ignorant. I'm not even gonna pretend I know a single shred of information on it. Attica gave us freedom to become a wraith for the new Library of Alexandria instead of just being a dad to his son. Damn. That's a hard choice. I'm not gonna lie. That's a hard choice. That's a hard choice. I don't want knowledge. I would just want lore of anything I'm interested in. For collector's sake, I love Genocide, but Mewtwo is way better story with the themes of experimentation and balance between humans and Pokemon, plus a lot of Mega Evolution lore. Yeah, I could get behind that. I could get behind that a lot. When I stopped working against my autism and started working with my autism, life got so much more bearable. That's the way to do it. Isn't practical at all, even if it did work. Yeah, because you got to think, like, long-term. What is that really going to do for you, then? Whatever comes to first mind. I could give us freedom for all the knowledge humans have ever collected. That's hard. That's really difficult. That's really, really, really difficult, then. Because I like my freedom. I love my freedom. I hate being told what to do. Genuinely. Especially when what I'm doing is working and someone tells me what to do, I just want to throw a spear at them. I'm not even... I am human. I am human. I get angry. I get upset. When someone tells me what to do, and they have no right to do so, they don't have any proper constructive criticism. If what I'm saying... If what I'm doing is working, and then you suddenly say you want to change it, because you think it's not working, that's not good enough for me. Don't tell me what to do, right? That's where my brain goes. I cannot give up my freedom. I don't think I could ever do that. I think it's like freedom, knowledge. I think it's those two things, right? The people I love don't necessarily go onto that list. I feel like that's a separate list. Because, like, that's the list of what I'm willing to sacrifice for, right? Asperger's isn't really physical stuff. Makes you hyper-focused on things you like, but also bad memories. Comes with hyper-social awareness, too. Kind of a pain. At least that's my explanation of it. Really. Huh. I'd say I love being a tiny puzzle piece of an infinite puzzle because at the end of the day, even the most impressive feats of architecture wouldn't be possible without each and every common brick. That's a very beautiful way to put it, actually. Oh no, your job in the new library is just to convince people to read a book, which makes them forfeit their souls to the library. Ugh. Yeah, that's a bit rough. Feed me lore. As of right now, I'm interested in the lore Pokemon, Doctor Who, and Wuthering Waves. These things can be released at any random moment. Hey there, Ned. How you doing? All right, let's if we're talking lore, let me pop up all my research. So I'm on Melee City, and I was actually finishing it up, I think, and moving away from Melee City because they have Trubbish and Alolan Grimer there. Yeah, it only took Arceus chose Haas. There's Raticate there. Alolan Raticate. But They aren't... Lone Relocate is present, but they aren't as... disease-ridden. Or potentially bringing about as much disease or filth. Still invading Mu and Solar. They live in a gorgeous country. Highly recommend. I'm just gonna have to. I have to go out there. I have to go out by you, so on and so forth, right? I just gotta. Also, I hope you're enjoying your trip. It sounds like it's been good so far. What are we ecologying? We're looking into the toxic ecology of Pokemon, which is basically the idea of the world, which is the idea that Muck, Grimer, the locations that they live at. If you look at bicycle roads, you will find Gulpin. You will find You will find Grimer. You will find Gulpin. I already said that. Coughing. You might find Coughing, depending on the cycling road or the roller skate road. When you look at the burned mansion or you look at high industrial areas, you're gonna find all these like Pokemon that represent pollution in the world. And in the Pokemon Adventures manga, Pokemon such as Ghastly are born from this miasma, this smog, and they also eat it as a treat to themselves. So I'm expanding on all that. That's basically what it is and how it all comes together. Alcatraz lore is so W, the book series, not the prison. Alright. Maybe I do know about it. I'm not sure. Or potentially bringing about as much disease or filth. Based on their habits. Their habits being that they don't eat rotting food, only seeking out the freshest of ingredients, and even further than that, they are primarily basing their diet upon fatty fruits or fatty or high sugar fruits, which is how we get Raticate in the first place. We get Alolan Raticate in the first place. But recently go to war with my mom over Pokemon Go. She plays it religiously. I don't. She caught a Marshadow somehow, which I have zero other way to get for the Nat Dex. Oh goodness, she gets Victini next. I'm crashing out. Crashing out, man. Caffeine. I've been thinking of muck predators. The only thing I could think of was Snorlax or Alolan Muck, which would or could act like some sort of wasp species, parasite ants, getting close to muck and then consuming it through mimicry. So it's weird, right? Because it doesn't ever say anything about Alolan, like Grimer and regular Grimer battling with each other, right? It seems like they might compete with each other for food resources. But at least within Alola, there were tons of food resources, and that's how they got transformed into their Alolan form. Through all the stuff that's there, right? But Snorlax, you are correct. And then otherwise, if they're put into a sanitary environment, they just die. That's what it flat out says it in the Ultra Sun Pokédex. If you put Grimer into or Muck, one or the other, into a sterile environment, they will die. They'll just die. Because the bacteria can't proliferate, I'm going to say. Muck's natural predator is Mr. Clean. In this case, Cinccino, since they don't stand a chance in his presence. Funny thing about that, Trubbish and Cinccino can be found in the same routes. Why is that so bad today? Today was so boring. Oh no. If Ghastly eats the stuff they're born from, it's not like a human eating their own parents, you know what? I don't really know. Uh-oh, he's barking. Why are you barking? Why are you barking? Why are you barking? Goodness gracious. I don't think so. Thoughts on Pokemon Friends? It's cool. I might play it. I might play it on my own time. I'll probably almost never talk about it if I do. I'll probably blitz through a bunch of puzzles. I need some good brain puzzles for my... Just can't think of anything, and it's making me mad because there has to be a predator somewhere. It's theoretically, you could... Oh my goodness. What's up, buddy? Jaeger. Hey. Why is he barking? Is he done? No? Alright, hold on. Hold on. Hey, what's up? Hey. Hey. No. No. What boy right? Anywho, you know, I'll probably play Pokemon Friends on my own time at some point. It's more like first Ghastlies were human. I don't even know about that. The Alone Grimer and Blueberry eat the trash teens throw on the beach to live. Yeah. Trubbish is probably rather fastidiously clean itself, considering it eats trash and all. It's a plastic bag. I think it's more like flies, which lay eggs and the poo-poo and rotting flesh. They didn't actually come from the flesh. Got it. Yes, understood. How did you think Trubbish came to be? And Chino simply took out the trash with its connection. So, Trubbish does have an entry which explains that a trash bag mixed with chemicals and the combination of garbage bags and industrial waste caused the chemical reaction that created this Pokemon, thanks to the Pokemon White entry. That's what it is. Be back at 15. You're gonna sleep in a bit. Sleep good. Sleep. So yeah, that's how they came into existence. So have plenty of eradicate fecal matter to still deal with. In Melee City, do they increase at night? No. Love that industrial life juice. I think it's purposeful that Minccino and Trubbish live together. They're placed in the same routes in both Unova and Alola. Yes, I do directly mention that. Humans don't really have predators, probably because other animals are always bringing claws and stingers to a gunfight. Yeah, if we were talking like full natural life, like no weapons or anything like that, we're not even close to the top of the food chain then. Theoretically speaking, even now we're not at the top of the food chain because 90% of the time, who's hunting a lion? Who's hunting an elephant, right? We're below them, you know. And if you are doing that, first off, pretty sure that's illegal. But at the same time, we're nowhere, you know. We're nowhere. Capability to do what I want is low. We had a lot more predators in ancient times before we learned math, for real, though. Let me see. All right, what else? I need to track. So, Trubbish, you're on the outer cape. Oh, you find Minccino. You do find Minccino here as well. As a final note, we do once again find Minccino on this route, likely acting as it has in previous areas as a cleanup crew. In fact, here is the best place for it to do that. This is the best location, not bets, oh my goodness, best location for it to do so. As both Alolan Grimer. And Machino can work together against the Trubbish. Awesome. I am not feeling the music anymore. I need to switch the music. Alright, Pokemon Heart Gold. Super Music Collection. That sent me through. That absolutely sent me through. I had to change it. Everybody was in top chat. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody's messages. Hate top chat. If we all lived in Antarctica, polar bears would be a predator of us, right? Absolutely. Freaking polar bears are scary. The only thing scarier than polar bears is freaking pizzly bears. Or growler bears. Saying pizzly is funnier. Oh, the polar bears are scary. They don't even care about themselves. They'll eat each other. Dear God. Male polar bear will absolutely kill a mother's young. Actually, that's something that kind of happens in a number of different things. Because the idea is you want your bloodline to continue, not someone else's bloodline to continue. So you'll kill the children. Remember, nature doesn't care how old you are. It will kill you. Alright, Childish, where else are you found? Melee City. I'm not even touching Galar yet. Galar is its whole section. Galar gets a whole section for it. I don't know if they're found in the same area, but it's technically possible that Toxel would eat Muck and Grimer since they enjoy drinking poisonous water. They might. I might have to look into that. They at least definitely... No, I don't think they'll eat them. I think they might have a symbiotic nature to each other. They might have a symbiotic nature with each other. I don't know if they predate upon them. Because think about it this way. They could if they're desperate. Because there's always that chance. But that's a really cool thing that I brought up. Because I don't think I would have thought of about that originally. Unless I saw it right in front of me. Is the idea that then you have this Grimer or Muck in the water. And then the Toxel/Toxtricity has an infinite food source of eating. Or rather drinking water that has... all that bacteria in it. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. I'm happy you brought that up. I didn't see them there. Let me double check. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss it. Even though I gotta look at Galar anyway. One of Asperger's weird little gifts is granting me the knowledge of every single region and individual Pokemon is found and where. Very useful for talking about habitats and stuff. Really. Galar's the only reason that shares both Trubbish and Machino where they don't live together. I believe you. I just believe you. I mean, I'll end up seeing it as well sooner once I actually decide to break down Galar, but let's see. Muck, Grimer and Muck just don't exist in Galar. They're flat out unobtainable. So that really tells us a lot about Galar and confirms that their pollution is pollution that is primarily based on fumes, toxic gas, air pollution, and climate shift. Not anything else. That works for Corsola. That works for Weezing. A lack of light would mean that more plants would die off. You'd have more stagnant water, which explains why Toxtricity like to drink stagnant water. Because you get a buildup of bacteria that doesn't go anywhere. Cool. That makes sense. That all checks out. Got it. Trubbish is Route 3 outside of Motorstoke, when Chino's Route 5 on the bridges. It's cute that it's on the bridges, actually. I'm back. Did a munch. Ooh, I gotta do that later. I went to the gym today. Ate a little bit. Went to the gym. Probably would be a symbiotic relationship between Toxtricity and Muck because Tox oozes poisonous, zappy sweat. Maybe. I could see that. I could see it being symbiotic. I feel like they would be good for each other. Yeah. I feel like they could be good for each other. Not just Muck being good for Toxtricity. I had to think about it. I genuinely had to think about that for a little bit. Not in the same region, though. Interesting. Okay, Trubbish. Not doing Galar yet. Galar gets its own set. So Trubbish is done. I'm gonna go back to my poison type list. Ekans, Arbok, Nidos, Irrelevant. Grimer, Coughing, Gulpin, covered them. Seviper, Irrelevant. Trubbish and Garbodor, covered them. Actually, did I cover Garbodor? I think I only looked at where Trubbish was. Even though typically they're going to be on the same route if one of them's there. Let me just double check. Route 9 in black and white. Lost Hotel in X and Y. Melee City. Lots in Galar. Lots of locations. Otherwise, that's that. Okay, Route 9, did you include Trubbish already? No, so why is Garbodor here? Route and Central connecting a two-blind bridge in Opelucid City. Well, Opelucid, isn't that also, like, the place of future or past, technically? Yeah. Bikers and Roughnecks are nothing but Bikers and Roughnecks. Boom! 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 Done. Easy Route 9. Since Sableye is always hungry for crystals, two Sableye are facing off. Do they try to eat each other? Especially the Megas? I would believe it 100%. 1,000%. They're greedy little monsters. Toxel and Grimer both live in Paldea, although Toxel is more southwest while Grimer is east. I wonder if they must be... They must just be completing their own niches, right? Like, I don't really see Swallow and Grimer in the same areas either. I only go to the gym for two reasons. Left girlfriend, left boyfriend. Lift my significant other. Lift the animals in the house. I have to be the strong one. I have to be the strong one. Then again, I'm always the strong one. To be fair. Okay. Did I even talk? There's no way I talked about Route 9. The last traditional route in which we see not Trubbish, but Garbodor is within Route 9, which is directly noted to be a paved road that attracts those who love bikes. And by bikes, we mean motorcyclists. Wow, it really is every single song, huh? And give piggybacks. Piggybacks are little siblings and little cousins. You know what? I follow that. I can follow that. I can follow that. In fact, all 6 trainers on this route are bikers and roughneck trainer archetypes. Which, those are typically associated with having... Yeah, they are. They're typically associated with having... Actually, hold on. Let me look at that route. They don't have poison-type Pokemon on this route. Black 2, White 2, they have Scorpy. They actually just have more Dark-type Pokemon. Except for this one dude who has a Joltik. What the fuck? Why? This one dude just has a Joltik. And then Black 2, White 2 is Scorpy. So Scorpy's poison. You got Zubat's poison. You have Timbers fighting. Ponyard, who's Dark Steel. Interesting. Back to Corbo. If not Mega Arbok, you could have a Mega Crobat, Dragaldi, Scolipede, Dravion, Toxic, Croak, Skuntank, Aridos, Nido, or Swalot. Mega Nido would be very interesting to see happen, actually. It was such a popular Pokemon. Still is. No, that does not narrow it down, but those are all the possibilities. There's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. I think it's okay to note all the possibilities. Doctor demanding attention. See ya, Basil Bay. Thank you for being here. You have yourself a great rest of your day. No shade to my Joltik, man. No, nothing wrong with Joltik. It's just weird. Like, I'm gonna name off all the Pokemon that these Roughnecks have. Sorry, that the bikers have. Joltik, Scraggy, Crocodile. Sorry, Sandal. Whatever the second one is. Buffalint. Oh, it's Krokorok. Okay, it's Krokorok. Buffalint, Krokorok again, Scraggy again, Ponyards. Then in Black and White 2, already named them. Scorpy, Zubat, Timber, Ponyard. Then following that, the Roughneck has Scraggy, Gengar, Mightyena, Skuntank, Crawdont, Galvantula. This dude has a weird mix. Galvantula, Gothitelle, Crocodile. Krokorok, Garbodor. Then in Black 2, White 2, Scraggy, Mightyena, Skuntank. I just saw something in the corner of my eye. Oh my god, hold on. Oh god. Crawdons, Venipede, Sandile, Grimer, Coughing, Crocodile again. Sorry, Krokorok, Scraggy, and then Darumaka. Darumaka's another weird one. Why Darumaka? That's such a weird mixing. Like, I get the bug a little bit, but gosh, anywho, I should, how did their Surfer Singed? Let me do the Surfer Singed! Thank you for donating $2 to the channel. Little weird little sticker pair, look at it jiggling around. Thank you for supporting the channel. I was leaked which one it was. Not going to spoil it for anyone else, though. Thank you. I'm a very bad Ghost Sproik. Another Dogs in Love reference. It's just so weird. That's such a weird mixing of Pokemon there. What other Pokemon are on this route? It's Liepard, Gardevoir, Minccino, Gothorita, Duosia, Ponyard. Okay. And Black 2, White 2, they added a Muck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Which explains why we get so much pollution here. Pollution here, and in fact, it only worsens in the future when in Black 2, White 2, we not only have Garbodor, but we also have Muck running around here. That pair looks like what I will when I hit 28. I don't know how to appropriately comment on that. I don't know how to appropriately and respectfully comment on that, so I won't. Everyone in my family gets chunky in their late 20s. Gotcha. I am trying my hardest to stay in shape because my family has obesity that runs through it. And if I get obese, my asthma will get bad, and I'd rather not. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum. All months en route 9 check with urban habitats except Ponyer, but they really just show up anywhere. It makes sense to be a busy place that has Univa's department store. That's also true. I forgot. I always forget the department store is right there. Department store is here. No obesity here, just tubby ladies. Okay. Okay, that's good at least. Also, sorry, my brain immediately, my brain knee-jerk reaction almost immediately went to saying, what is it called? What is it called? BMI is bullshit. There it is. Ponyer can be chalked up to the mountains of Route 10 nearby. That could be the case. Ponyer as a whole, they're very, very interesting. They're actually... I say a lot about a lot of Pokemon, so I should just keep saying that, but it's true. It's true. Better in the next area. Let's see. Pokemon has such a great ability to connect some random thing into a plot point for the future. Yeah, it's genuinely, writing should... One great thing someone can always do with the writing is always review what you've already written and tie that into the future, right? If you were able to do some foreshadowing early on, awesome. If not, find a way that makes sense to tie it in. Find chalkiness attractive. Yeah. I didn't know how to respond to that. I didn't know how to respond to that. In the lowly Ecology, did Machop evolve due to training or get eaten by Rockruff? Probably training, realistically speaking. I always just tell people to be healthy. If you're healthy, that's all that matters. You could be a bigger person. You can be a little bit chunky and you're healthy. That's all that matters. Who cares? Unfortunately, doctors still blame everything on being chubby. Yeah, which is really unfair. Also, it amounts to being destroyed and respawn left and right. It kind of does. So, the Great Ink are just Greater Mauville Holdings again. Oh my lord, that's actually a good point. Infinity Energy or alternative would be required for a complete redevelopment of the biggest city in all of Pokemon. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Holy crap. Oh, Greater Mauville Holdings. Not only that, Mauville and Lumiose are explicit. Are explicitly connected or something like that? Oh, they are. Oh, yeah, because he got inspired, stated to be sister cities. Yep, you're right. Oh, you're right. Here's another fun thing. I think I mentioned it earlier in this video, or in this stream still. I'm very, very interested in... Actually, hold on. I write it down. Hold on. Anti-homelessness benches. Nope. As a small tangent, Pokemon has always been about humans being a part of nature, being one with Pokemon in the world itself, which is also very Aldo Leopold. Even when it isn't about nature directly, it's about closing the divide that humanity has created. Even now, I suspect the story of the rich versus the poor will be unraveled within Legends ZA, as we have a guy that wants to get rid of the free transportation system and anti-homeless benches within the city, despite having Emma, a character who is very clearly stated to have been a homeless individual within the original X and Y games within the post-game. You can even watch the Pokemon Generations episode to really understand what's going on here. Pokemon has a message for us in every game, and more often than not, it's about being one with the world, being kind, and being there for one another. It's just disguised as a children's game or show most of the time. There we go. I had it written better than I could say it right now. And this is why I script. That is why I script right there. I'm at 7. Oh, well, I'm about to hit 18 pages. You have joint problems, just lose weight. I don't care if you have genetic joint conditions. Also, chunky people are great. The best for cuddles. Agreed. The way that cut off made it sound like Lumios is rated R. I'm gonna have to start doing extensive research on Infinity Energy to start working on that thing that will happen in my story. Infinity Energy, I don't talk about it enough in a video, so I can't even help with that. Ruin Maniac Files. Ruin Maniac Files. Great guy. He does Toby's editing as well these days. Look up Ruin Maniac Files. He has some great videos on Infinity Energy. What is toxic ecology? Looking at where, like, Grimer and Trubbish and all of them and all these other poisonous Pokemon, or not all of them, but toxic or pollutant-based Pokemon might exist, and how that relates back to how it actually works for ecology sense. Pokemon world maybe ran under a world state, which means no war, severe nation balance, but it's still globally capitalist, and that isn't best for certain classes. It is, but it isn't. The Pokemon League determines Pokemon Leagues for smaller countries or regions, and you have to get approval from them to have a full-on league. And then, even then, at least in the past, there was war, which I'm pretty sure the war happened between Kalos and Galar. In addition to that, Galar and Hisui traded with each other at the end of the Edo period as part of the Japanese industrialization movement, I think, which explains why you see Galarian wheezing in that area, and the weird mixing of, like, industrialization with old Edo style, like, prefecture. Pokemon Infinity Energy is type energy, natural energy, primal energy, life energy, plate energy. They're all the same, if not in different forms. Pretty much, yeah. The weird part is I've come to learn that Infinity Energy is the refined form of bioenergy, which is within Pokemon, but a lot of people say that's Infinity Energy anyway, and it gives me a headache, and maybe I'm still wrong on that. I don't even know. Pokemon World is certainly controlled by a world state. The illusion of wealth equality is ruined by Ore. Yeah, oh my god. Regions used to be countries as confirmed by Paldea, until I believe at the end of the Cantonian War, Unova formed the Pokemon Association. What runs the league mentioned in the manga. Oh. Oh. Y'all want to listen? Hold on. I know what I want to listen to right now. You know what I want to listen to right now? I want to listen to the Pokemon DJ Pikachu full set. No reason to be as good as it is, but it is. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Regions used to be countries. Oh, I already said that out loud. Do you have a Pokemon book? I don't. I don't think I'm allowed to print that. Because if I did, the Pokemon Company, rightfully so, because it's their IP. So this is not me complaining. Game Freak or Pokemon, not that they would ever see this, would stab me in the butt. My Pokemon story just wants to show trying to alter nature to how you benefit, or how you befit won't be good. I want to add dialogue which a character straight up says, you do know that would be a divine sin in the future. If I'm understanding that correctly, you would love looking into Colress, you would love looking into Ore and the Shadow Pokemon. You would love looking into, actually, you say Divine Sin. Have you seen my Divine Sin video? New York is where the UN has its HQ IRL, and Unova is what people theorize Kanto went to war with. It's also been a symbol of unity ever since its civil war. Let's see, okay, this I didn't know. I really need to read the rest of the manga. Once I finish One Piece, then I'm going to read all the Pokemon manga, and eventually I'll make another video on it. I really want the last two to do really well. Ore is the equivalent of Pokemon third world country. Ore's people are blamed for the crime that happens, but the prejudice against them creates the necessity of crime because it would take resources. Ain't that just a real life, isn't it, sometimes? Yep, I have. That's how I got the idea. Yeah! I love influencing people in that capacity. I love that. I'd say that's a win. That's a win. That goes into my list of wins, right? Route 9 is pretty much done. I could talk about the Lost Hotel. Yeah, the Lost Hotel. Magneton, Electrode, Litwick, Pawniard, Klefki, Trubbish, Garbodor. Okay. Why? How did this happen? If Ori is canon, it was either Warzone or Kanto and Unova battle, or a place where the ultimate weapon hit, I think. It's mentioned to have no real wild Pokemon population. Yes, Arizona. The desolate landscape that it is. Right, it's Arizona, right? I think it is. Legendary roller skate Whirling Wind, Dancing Whirlwind can be found here. Only accessible once the player knows the first 4 roller skating tricks. So teach the player the 5th and final trick. Okay. The Desolate Hotel. Okay, well, what's the story? Once famous hotel clings to the shade of its former glory after tragedy left it in ruins. Isn't this in the anime? Isn't this straight up in the anime? Rotom's Wish. Yep. Okay, perfect. Got it. Okay. In the anime, this hotel is explained further to have been originally owned by a man by the name of Mantle. Wait, nope. Shocked to learn that Mantle was first in trainers. No. I got that wrong. Gotta respond to the lady. Weston. By the name of Weston. Weston originally, before another man by the name of Mantle had challenged him over ownership of the hotel in a Pokemon battle. His Rotom, having ran away in fear, had cost him the battle, and the hotel was handed over to Mantle, who only proceeded to at least in the universe of the game, actually not even just in the universe of the game, proceeded to let it become a run-down building, especially within the games. Okay. And who knows about the people of Pokemon native to Ori that were lost when a vague cataclysm took place? Isn't most of Australia just desert too? 80% of it, I think. Some catastrophe in the past that made Ori uninhabitable for a long time. I wonder if it's related to the meteor. Does they give it time? I don't think Kalos went to war with Galar, rather an unnamed region that got completely wiped off the map by the ultimate weapon early in history, basically nuclear-sized retcon. I don't know about that. I mean, it's possible, but it doesn't seem like that's the case, because it feels like the warring parties gave up at one point. They're like, oh, okay, understood. We bow now. But I still could be wrong. Dialogue would be like, you can't just survive someone just because you want. You know how much power that costs. You will not survive. It's basically AZ stuff. Okay, that's good. That's good pullback. Love Ori to be a DLC area in the future game to fully canonize it. It would work in lore so well, even if they just mention it, right? Or that they're rebuilding it. Legend Game on it would be so cool. That would be cool. Hi there, Biggins. I saw the message. I'm sorry, dude. That's BS. That's hard BS. Retcon it maybe to be in the land of Ori to line up with a new idea of adding smaller subregions like Kitakami. Arbok hunts small Pokemon like Trubbish because it resists poison type. I don't think Arbok is hunting Trubbish. Just because Arbok it's a snake. Our book does state what it eats, I think, to some capacity. If it doesn't, I would look up the diet of a real snake. Wouldn't the detonation of an ultimate weapon cause a nuclear winter? It wasn't a detonation of it, and what's also interesting is that even when it wasn't fully charged, it was charged a very good chunk and fired within the anime, within generations, within the game, and it did some good damage. But that was really it. But there's also, you know, how many Pokemon did it take energy from? That's the question. AZ when it determines that Palmon and Rabscar are just southwest of his region. Revive. Immortality. Basically split timeline somehow. Yeah, that's a whole other thing in and of itself. Will I ever do a timeline video? I have no idea. Maybe one day. It's on my list. Cool character idea is the descendant of a native Orish person who wasn't in Ori during the Cataclysm. The frustration at their homeland being used as a place to send criminals. Send the character in. Do a small thing like that, and then let it be a side story, and that's how you get it to be canon. You don't even have to make another game. You should. But that would be good. That'd be a pull. That would be a pull. Okay. You do find Rotom here. What's interesting is that we do find Rotom here alongside Trubbish and Garbodor within the trash cans. Rotom is clearly taking advantage of any of the technology left behind. Advantage of any technology left behind, especially as you can find it naturally in any of its other forms. As a 5% chance, as opposed to the standard form at a 75% chance on Tuesdays. Otherwise, Trubbish and Garb are found any other day of the week. The remaining Pokemon that are here seem to mostly take advantage of the electricity still present in the area, as we find Magneton and Electrode, but it does go even further with the last three Pokemon. Pawniard, to represent the thugs that are found here. Litwick, to take advantage of those that get lost. And Klefki, who is strangely a poster child for abandoned human buildings these days. The reason I say this, I'll catch up with chat soon. The reason I say this is because originally Klefki was a resident within caves as it consumed metallic ions. But after excessive mining from humans, that resulted in their food source being depleted. Klefki wandered out and found its new food source, within keys. Klefki could have tried to consume metal ions from any other source, but for some reason, it decided that keys were the easiest, least intrusive, highest highest common source that would require the least amount of effort to acquire. It wouldn't have to compete with Air Online. It wouldn't have to compete with Duraludon. Actually, I say Duraludon, but I don't think either of those. Well, no, we don't have to. Is it in the? Is Duraludon in other areas? Duraludon. Are they ever near each other? Before I say Duraludon, I know Klefki and Aron could theoretically have been in the same area before, but are they even in the same region at any point? Klefki, I really gotta catch up to chat soon. Fields of Honor. Nope. Don't say Duraludon then. Or any other Pokemon that consumes metal. Okay. Pokemon Timeline's bizarre. Yes, it is. When we saw it at full charge, not stopped or filled, the explosion was shown from space in a flashback expo. Definitely enough to alert the enemy region's capital. That is pretty true. Pretty sure Hammerlock is implied to be Galar's old capital before Rose founded Winden. And it's obviously still standing today. Yeah, they moved around a lot of cities, and that's part of the story that we get with Pierce. Funny type could eat both plant and meat, depending on which one. It would also explain why there's still no people native to Ore. Same thing that wiped out the Pokemon, wiped out the people. You're interesting to have the Cataclysm be the results of the ultimate weapon. The character's homeland, and people were murdered to end the war that had nothing to do with them. I'd be very interested in seeing it happen. If they go that direction, you would not have a single complaint from me. I don't even century, just 30 years. Part of the theory is just Corsarco is actually a Unnovan company, the ones that founded Blueberry Academy and the Nature Preserve, also had involvement in Aether Paradise's construction. Yes. Yes, I could get behind that. I could get behind that because Blueberry Academy already pulls in the idea of artificially creating terrariums, creating life, having a floating city, so on and so forth. And now you've just decided to put it on a grander scale because your prototype essentially worked. In addition, you've made natural areas already. You know you can create a regional variants now because of the Blueberry Academy terrarium, which means that you can just do that in your own floating city that is this new Kalos. So yeah. Okay, no, I could follow that. I could see that as a possibility. I could see that as an absolute possibility. I'm very curious to see if Jet is related to Clement in some capacity. I'm working down the list here. Interesting representation of how the big countries literally stepped all over the third world nation sometimes without even considering they exist. Oh, big time. Big time. And if it matches with the ultimate weapon, it makes even more sense with the rich versus the poor argument that's constantly happening within a theme of the game. How big is Ore? I don't even know that. Klefki could just be lingering around the Lost Hotel, although they are found in the Fields of Honor of Galar, which is strange since the whole isle isn't urbanized at all. I kind of want to look at that and see what's going on there. As far as the other regions, is one big desert, big place, sparse population. Whole region should be glass if it's, oh gosh. You don't only lived in mainland Galar, Aeron, or in the Crown Tundra. Okay. It's Superman Krillix. Hey there, Memento Mortem. Then again, my ideas for Ore history are a bit gutsy for what Pokemon would do. They like to play it safe. I don't think they played it safe with X and Y, and then they really did something weird with Scarlet and Violet. I think the Legends games are their way to really, like, go wild and experiment with their plot and their stories. And I hope they don't hold back. They are a very big company, so they don't like to experiment. You are correct. Because you don't want to fail, right, when you're that big. I don't think playing safe is over. They just like to do subtle. They do subtle, but they also do in your face. It's a toss-up. Hey, Annie, how you doing? It's been a while. It has been a bit. It has been a bit. Like two and a half weeks, I think. Caffeine water. Have all the darker lore be in the manga. They could get away with it even if they're super extreme for the games. Oh, big time. Big time. The manga is definitely young adults at the very least, at the youngest. There's some concepts in there, right? They just can't do too subtle, or else they get Sword and Shield again. Yeah. Sword and Shield had good characters. They suffered from a lack of plot cohesion and strength of the plot of the overarching plot. I like Hop's story. I really genuinely do like Hop's story. I like Sonia's story. Marnie has a solid story. Bede, I don't like Bede, but I will say Bede still has a good story. I think genuinely their smaller, more personal stories in that game was great. But their overarching plot was a little weak. Temperature's horrible. Luckily, it's not horrible for me right now inside of my home. Luckily. Just need a secret document. Look at what the Pokédex entries get away with. That's also true. Manga's targeted at a much older audience than the games. Sonya be hot. I can't argue. Pierce best dude though. Pierce is phenomenal. God, he's great. Don't really think the Ultimate Weapons Blast is what woke Eternatus from dormancy. So regardless of what it went to war with, Galar, they screwed it over. That is also very interesting. I've never thought of that. I still see Eternatus as a general radiation type thing, and maybe just everything has radiation absorbed it a little bit, but toss up, right? I'm willing to believe a lot of different things. That's just kind of what I do. I'm willing to believe a lot of different things when it comes to Pokemon. You know, at the end of the day, it's just fun, right? I take a more ecology or scientific approach to a lot of it, and then go on my wild tangents, but it's all fun in the end, and I'm willing to believe a lot of different things because it's fun. Manga got anything to relate it to fusion? Yeah, in the first red arc, Pfizer. The 3 legendary birds were fused together. That's where Pokemon Infant Fusion got it from, using the Splicer. Flat out, except it wasn't a Splicer. Splicer was from Black and White. Pfizer was created through a different means. Go check out the red manga cover that I have, and then go watch the Amurio arc. I feel like the games would have been better cohesive writing if their overarching plot was done by one person. And the current team did the character writing. Probably. Emma had the best glow up in all the Pokemon. Oh, she's doing fantastic. It's very nice to see that she's doing fantastic for herself. I feel like I want to do something related to fusion as to why it's not good. Takes a lot of power. I'm gonna say that. Takes a ridiculous amount of power. Pierce is literally the only gym leader doing his job as a member of the community in pretty much all Pokemon games, helping you out a whole bunch. Maybe Watson does too with New Mauville, though. Watson does it in secret. Watson did his in secret, though. Watson doesn't flat out tell anybody about it, to my knowledge. Through all the documents that I've read and all the information I've read, Watson was underhanded in how he ripped apart Greater Mauville Holdings from the inside. It's a phenomenal dude. Oh my god, I love him so much for it. And the ultimate Eevee. Wait, what? Did I miss something? I'd argue all the Galar gym leaders. The Galar gym leaders... Pokemon as a whole, their gym leaders did better and better over the course of time as to being a part of the community and actually doing things. You know what I mean? Not Zapmokuno. Whole story around fusion. Probably not then. Not that I know of. Look at what Atrocity Sciences and Galar pieced together. Atrocity Sciences. This is what I haven't warned us about. They just do their own thing. They don't help people. Oh. I got you. Hold on. Milo's a farmer. He's helping people. Nessa, she's kind, but yeah, she's too busy. Her story is that she's high strung, right? She can't even do much, right? She's literally so high strung because of all the stuff that she has to do. Her story is a more smaller personal one. Kabu breaks people. Bae and Alistair. Bae kind of does her own thing. Alistair's kind of shy. Goodness, he really doesn't do much. I mean, if you look at the anime, Alistair does something. I think a good chunk of them do. In the anime, at least. In the games, it's a different story. Opal, she took Embiid. We'll give her some slack. Gordy and Melanie don't really do much. Unfortunately, I will say that Pierce messed up because Pierce was too stubborn, and he part of his story is, he says it himself, that maybe he shouldn't have denied the movement of Spike Myth, because by moving it, they would have had people going there. He would have been a true part of the league. With Gigantamaxing, he would have had proper tourism. He would have had money coming in, and Spike Myth would not be in destitution, right? That's part of his story, and he's a story of being prideful about like what you believe in, but not being so prideful that it causes destruction to your own, to the people that you care about. And then Raihan, I'd argue, he's pretty active. He does a lot. He runs around. He meets people. He does all that good stuff. He trains a lot. Yeah. I would argue that might be a little bit biased towards him though. I really, Raihan's cool. Bae doesn't show up even when Beach smashed her ruins in her town. Yeah, was that in the town or was that just outside of it? Either way, yeah. I mean, that's an insane. Why can't I put this back in? What is happening here? Massive illegal thing that he did. The water gym leader in Paldea scares me, but this little interaction with people in Cascarafa was pretty wholesome. Really? Scares you? Oh, I like a lot of the Paldea gym leaders. In part of why I like Pokemon so much because there's so much room to iterate on the series and makes me invested. The seeds are there, but it's not quite reaching a story and lore. Yeah, there's so much that it could go into. There's so much. Old gem, their help is required. Alistair's also a child. In most games, he plays a trainer, but there's infinite possibilities for games, stories, shows, whatever you can create in the universe. That's why I'm so invested. Yes! Pokemon Star Signs, tomorrow, 8:30 CST. Go be there. If you haven't seen the other episodes, it's okay. Be there. 10 years after the main events of Alola. I'm genuinely excited. We've got someone from Galar. Odin's from Galar, and he has a Litten that has been revealed to be a different typing. It's an electric type Litten. He doesn't know why, but he's like your classic protagonist. We have Karaticus Dubois, who is a rich boy influencer that is a grill master idol kind of situation, and he is actually the grandson of Watson. And then he has a Ditto as his main. And then finally, there's the Pokemon Rangers have been established within Alola, and one of the first or second generation Rangers is Dion, who has a Golett as his partner Pokemon, and he is ex-Team Skull. So people who were part of Team Skull disbanded and found new purposes for themselves, and they actually just met two people who are, who, like I said, have made a new living, like a new honest living. So be there for it. I'm excited. Lots of cool stuff, genuinely. I cannot express it enough. Raihan's active, all right. Of course, Mew. I imagine you waking up. Raihan's active, all right. Back down. Being performer stars are popular isn't what being a gym leader is supposed to be about, though. What helps your community? You know, if you're a performer and you're bringing in money to your city, your town, there you go. You know what I mean? One of my absolute dream projects would be to write my own Pokemon show, maybe not the main series game. Not too keen on making entire gens of lore myself. Can always start somewhere. Also, that's Clay from Gen 5. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Clay did a lot. Put stream up or I won't know when to be awake. Oh, got it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Clay from Gen 5 should be related to Ore. I think Ore and Unova should be connected geographically. Well, I think, isn't Ore Arizona? When I say Pierce the only, he's just a more overt. That's what I mean by not too subtle. Yeah, I could, yeah. If I had Ore in my board map, I can't decide whether to put it between Kanto and Unova or Johto and Kalos. I don't have enough. Also, Leaders had much more of a cohesive role in the manga. Game did them dirty, yeah. Or is Arizona with hints of Australia? Okay, well, there we go. What about Drayden? In Generations, he went off on all of Team Plasma to protect his city. Or you mean, oh yeah, the Spartan mayor. God. He's a champion. He's a champion. He's a champion through and through. I mean, the Unova gym leaders were like the peak of defending your home. Real talk. How are the ducks doing? I haven't looked at the ducks in a while. God dang! So I erased myself so I could sleep. Sleep well. Thank you for being here. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Tater tot. Chorus walks free? What is Looker's police force doing? Chorus turned invisible and disappeared, man. I don't know what to say about Chorus. Chorus is kind of a wacky genius. In the manga, the entire Unova city almost died, got frozen over by the freeze attack of Kyurem, which I love seeing in Generations, because we see exactly that. It's amazing. Are you going to include Blueberry Academy in Pokemon Paldea Ecology? I don't know. Probably not. I'm probably going to have Kitsukami and that separate. I don't know. That's a hard toss-up for me. That's a real hard toss-up for me, to be real. Humans in Pokemon are kind of jacked. My goal is to be like Drayden. Right? It is. Yeah, my goal is to be like Drayden. My God, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. What a goodness gracious. He'd break me like a Kit Kat bar, and I would thank him for it. I would apologize for being so weak. Let's see. Blueberries and isolated ecosystems should be separate. That's what I'm thinking. Generations only showed Opalucid. Oh, you're right. You're right. I remember the black and white story by heart, but I found 3/4 of the named characters forgettable. I might be able to recall 6 to 7 character names. I'm terrible with names, so I can't make fun of you for that. Alright, I need to get rid of Muck off my screen. Melee City is already done and through. Klefki, I was writing about you. Separate bit in the video since it combines artificial environments from all regions. Only environment we know to be blatantly based off of one is Alola. Others are blends. It's so big that it could be its own video, is what I'm thinking. And I would be able to talk about how Blueberry Academy could be a real thing. Is it worthwhile investment in the real world? No, but could it be a real thing? Yes. Something that has been developed but was still in the works last I saw it 2 years ago was floating solar panels, which allows them to stay cool, but you have to make sure they're not in a saltwater environment, otherwise there would be corrosion. But being in the water helps ensure that they don't overheat, which means that they can absorb more sunlight, and that would mean that they can absorb more or create more energy from sunlight, which would allow them to be more efficient. Whereas instead of collecting only about 40% of the energy from sunlight available when they're hit by sunlight, they could collect upwards of 80 or 90%, which is a massive boost when it comes to solar energy, let alone solar voltaic energy, which is different because there's solar energy, which is transforming light into heat into energy. Solar voltaic is light to energy. And then there's like the development of a bunch of other things, such as like the green windows, which also is like plant-based fibers transformed into windows, which then generates energy, as it does take in more than just direct light. It takes in the UV rays, which is a whole other ball game, because UV rays are massive in terms of there are different rays that exist in different times of the day, or do exist during the day and then don't exist at night. And if we could just, as humanity, consistently harness the power of these infinite rays of energy that exist in our real world, then we'd be able to have a far more efficient and powerful version of renewable infinite energy. I miss environmental engineering so much sometimes, man. There's moments like that. I miss it. I miss it. I'm probably never going back to environmental engineering. I'll be real, but man, do I miss it. If we even get close to could we think by that I mean what Hatch has, I'm gonna be happy. I feel like Pokemon is missing an audience it could be capitalizing off of. Other big projects like Star Wars have both child-friendly and adult-friendly entries. It could benefit from more adult-focused games. Why do you think they have generation by generation? Their key idea is, if you like Pokemon, fantastic. You're gonna follow Pokemon. By creating a new generation, you don't need to know the past one. Generation 3, don't need to know anything about the last one. Generation 4, don't need to know anything about the last one. Gen 5, don't need to know anything about the past generations whatsoever. Every new generation means another generation of people in real life that can enjoy it. Even though generations are typically like a, 5 years, 10 years, somewhere in that range, right? Right. I got distracted. You're welcome. As much as I get the complaints of not being able to do much as a player outside of their stadium challenge, it's kind of emblematic of Pokemon having champions, gym leaders doing their job. Yeah. It's become that. It wasn't necessarily that at first, but it has definitely become that. And if they lose that, that's a problem. Paldea has the best common day approach to that, while Unova has the best we are protecting our home approach to that. Paldea, you see Gita wandering around. You see all these interactions between all the gym leaders, and it's beautiful. And it really shows how together they are and how it's less about the gym challenges and more about all the other focuses of finding your treasure. It is not gym-centric in that term anymore. And I guarantee that was a test run for what they're going to do in the future. The attack was so brutal, the characters had a hard time contacting each other. Divided, they're easier to attack when they're together. It's always a way to do it. Even when the coastal biome has Pokemon outside of Alola like Slackoth, Oddish, Esper, etc. Or the nearest Geodude gets obliterated while Oddish takes a nice sunbath by the laser. Oh, Solar Beam should heal some Pokemon. Agreed. I think that's shown in the manga. Gyarados splashes a Bulbasaur with water and it does no damage instead. Red's Bulbasaur is just happy to take a little shower. The manga's amazing. The manga's amazing. Go check out. I mean it when I say go check out my coverage of it. Because I cover the entire Red arc, the first three volumes, and then the entire Yellow arc, the next 4 volumes. Tons of examples, reading directly from it, all my thoughts as I go through it. And it is a scripted thing, okay? Gabite eat Golett in Esto Desert in Alola Ecology. I think you're thinking too hard. I think you're thinking too hard. I don't think anything's out there eating Golett. I'm gonna be real with you. Gabite might fight a Golett, because they're territorial, but they're not eating Golett. Solar Beam must cause one hell of a sunburn. Solar Cream would be a good held item. That sounds amazing. That actually, if it wasn't a 2-part move, that sounds amazing. When the Gibble accidentally bites into Golett's perpetual motion machine, it causes a quantum explosion on Ula Ula Island. Tapu Bulu didn't wreck anything, just Golett went. DJ Pikachu, what was such a great pull. I've done nothing else for. All right, hold on. Klefki could have tried to consume metal items from any other source. For some reason, decided the keys were the easiest, least intrusive, highest common source, and that would require the least amount of effort to acquire. Wouldn't have to compete with Aeron lines or any other Pokemon that would consume metal. If it ran into them, as it doesn't even run into them. We see them here in the what is it? The Abandoned Mart. Thrifty Mega Mart. Playing on Nuzlocke on a ROM hack. Didn't see the 6 Electrode Explosion team coming. Lord Almighty. Get yourself a Ghost type. Get yourself a Ghost type. I'm stupid. I could have just looked at. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then at the Fields of Honor, like you guys said. Glaciato Mountain also? Area 6 and Glaciato Mountain. Why the Fields of Honor? Salute Field, Isle of Armor, Workout Sea, Loop Lagoon, Courageous Cavern. But they're not in Courageous Cavern, are they? No, they're not. Where are they here? They're around at all times a day as a visible encounter, but as a 5% they're wandering. Area 6, Glaciato Mountain. Why? Why Area 6? Is it in the desert? Is it by the abandoned settlement? In town? Or within towns, I could just say. But Glaciato Mountain, I need to look at where Klefki specifically is. In town. Okay, sweet. Easy. Thinking about it, the first Pokemon game I ever played was a fan game on Roblox called Pokemon Brick Bronze. Never played Roblox myself. Solar Cream heals with Solar Beam and strong sunlight like a specialized leftovers. I think the only reason it would not work, it's fun. I love the idea. Only reason it wouldn't work for Solar Beam specifically is just because of Solar Beam being a 2-step move. But I do agree with the idea of if it's a sunny day or harsh sunlight, absolutely specialized leftovers type stuff. Make it have different percentiles. You know, maybe it doesn't do like anything. Maybe it's like a 2% and then it jumps up, right? Hey, Curry. Hey, guys. That is one of the other, when I keep talking about creators, go, I'm not even joking. Click on Carrie's name right the hell now and go subscribe to them. Do yourself that favor. Their art and animation is phenomenal. Go do it right now. I don't care if you have to leave the stream and then come back. Go do it right now. Click on their name, go subscribe to them, and then come back. Like the acrylic seal of approval. And they're working on, they're working on their videos and everything like that. And they deserve the encouragement. 1,000% over. Also a great guy. I need to read through the rest of this. Solar Cream heals Solar Beam strong sunlight, specialized leftovers. The researcher Pokemon would study mineral-based Pokemon and how they differ and interact with carbon-based Pokemon. That would be really cool. I would also love to see their different compositions, such as what we see in the anime with Dwebble, and Dwebble itself being shown to have different composition rock. Picked a tree code, but got stuck in its route too because I didn't know the gates took you to the next route. So we're going to have leftovers like effect on Pokemon Dry Skin. That would also be dope. I need a different conversion of the ghastly as a fire poison. It'd be based on a cartoony drawings of the sun behind the clouds. Ooh, to be happy and friendly, but accidentally give people sunburns. That's really cute. Or prevent burns. Brick Bounce was goated. They done wiped my boy off the face of platform in 2018. Next year, it became known legally distinct creature capture called Lumion Legacy. Back just did so. Nice. Dude, you're too kind. No, I'm not kind enough. I'm not kind enough. Right? There's only, what, how many people are here? How many people are here right now? There are 15 other people here. There are 15 other people here. Like 16 other people. Like that is a marginally small amount. That is marginally tiny. You know, in terms of live stream, it's nice. But I need, you know, I've been talking about you and Maze Dragon. I've been talking about, you know, Zarek, Peachupedia. Not, I mean, Peachupedia does it full time themselves, but still, you know. And then obviously, like Toby, I was he was reacting to the Pokemon Presents, and he mentioned me, and I was like, oh, you summoned me, and he's like, yo, go subscribe, and he started naming the rest of us off, and I'm like, this is what we do. It's what we're supposed to do, you know. The idea is put our trust in each other. We're already, you know, talking with each other. We're in the, you know, we're doing all these things together. I'm not shy about saying who I talk to. Obviously, conversations are private, but it's like, no. Let's, you know, we're here for a reason. We enjoy what we do. We collaborate with each other when we can, if possible, and we go from there, right? That's the way it's supposed to be. Toby himself says, you know, rising tides, you know, lift all ships, and I'm absolutely gonna hold back to that. Go subscribe to Biggins also. Biggins does different content, but you know what? Biggins is just starting up. Go. Biggins deserves the encouragement also. And if you haven't followed Mew on Instagram, please go do that. I'm just shilling for everybody. I'm in that mood now. People need to support each other. It's the way it goes. I'm getting passionate. I don't care if the current view count drops to 0. Go to their websites and go subscribe and follow these people, God damn it. It's what needs to be done. I dropped Rowlet. I dropped Rowlet. Rowlet, go back on your swing. I don't think I've ever shown my Rowlet swing. I don't think I've ever shown the little Rowlet swing. Look at that. There you go. Boop, 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 boop. Ah! Anywho, I'm gonna put that back on my desk. I'll put you right back on my desk. There you go. Mega Dragonite kind of looks like someone misremembered how it looked and then drew it. I like its wings though. Its wings are adorable, and it's got 6 wings. You know. Biggins upcoming PNG tuber. Facts. Fully agree. Get to support each other. Yeah. I think egg groups are just common genes shared among Pokemon. All have similar ancestors from you, so genes would appear between them. I have yet to do an egg. Wait, I've done an egg video. I've not done a Pokemon breeding video. It's on my list though. It's all about sex, baby. It's all about you and me. I'm stealing them. You're abusing them. No. Oh, Kiri, I feel like you would genuinely enjoy this, of all people. I feel like you would really love to see. I feel like I don't think I've shown the 31st this either, but 31st also. God, I didn't mention the 31st. But there's a bunch of people I didn't mention. It's nice to have a community, you know, not only here but also a group of creators that I can talk to, and it feels so less lonely in that fashion. Ammonite fossil, baby, like a real ass. Now I'm swearing because I'm out here, but you know, Ammonite fossil. I got my boy Ammonite out here. Carrie, love your videos. There you go. Plus, Pokemon breeding doesn't seem to be actual breeding since every Pokemon hatches from an egg and only moves are inherited from another. Also, Also, my goat Excalibur apparently can get it on with Vanilla. Damn ice cream cones. No shame to him, but I don't think they're closely related enough to breed in traditional sense. I think it's because they're a Mineral A group, and then Excalibur is Mineral Dragon A group, if I'm understanding correctly. It's very weird. It's so strange. Hate that legendaries can't breed some sort. Makes sense, like the Treasure of Ruin. But Latios and Latios, the birds, flipping Heatran, you get a male or female and you can't breed it. Yeah, One day, I need to, like, again, breeding video needs to happen. From the first video of yours I watched, it was an Amori video? Oh, God. First off, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Second off, that was when I was trying to do videos of game playthroughs, and it was so lonely. I got so lonely doing that. I felt so detached from the community when I was doing that for a short while. And then I was like, no, we gotta rip it back into streaming, man. That's so painful. I would never do that again. I've always got, you know, if I'm gonna play a game, I'm streaming it. I love sharing with people, but I like sharing with people actively. I think that's the joy of life, you know, sometimes. But wow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that was your first video. So we're thinking about Pokemon like Machamp laying an egg. Latios and Latios, I think, are twins, like a pair of twins hatched at the same time. Interesting. If I got to make a show, weird egg group pairings would be for sure be a running joke. Got it. More than one Latios and Latiaso. There are. Heard a neat theory that Latios and Latios are first female and male. More than one how? In the anime, it shows it. And in the Pokedex of Latias, it confirms that there are multiple Latias, but it doesn't say there's multiple Latios, weirdly enough. By the anime, because of Luster Pearl, there's also that. Yeah, there's a lot of legendary Pokemon that there's more than one of. Legendary Pokemon are typically just Pokemon that have created a massive impact upon the world that they live in. Mewtwo was the first artificial Pokemon first artificially legendary Pokemon. You know what? We're so off track. I don't care. What legendary Pokemon list? Let's go down this list. What makes all these Pokemon legendary? I'm just gonna quickly flap through it, right? Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, they represent the seasons. They are said to bring the seasons when they fly. They're representative of, like, blizzards and thunderstorms and volcanoes in some capacity. So there's a lot going on there. Mewtwo was the first artificially created legendary Pokemon. Raikou, Entei, and Suicune were revived by another Pokemon, being Ho-Oh, who Ho-Oh and Lugia had their own towers, as Lugia actually reigned over the 3 legendary birds as well. So there's a lot of legends going on there. Then you got Regirock, Regice, and Registeel, which we didn't realize just how legendary they were, but they were sealed away because they were incredibly dangerous. Eventually, we learned that Regigigas was legendary because it moved the continents and was the one to create them amongst the other Regis, who were also sealed away. Latios and Latias saved the child in ancient civilization, in addition to creating the Soldew, and the Soldew is important for keeping the peace of Italian place, whatever the place is called. Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, I don't even need to explain, I feel like. Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf, they're gods, literally translated as the lake gods. Doggo, Palkia, Giratina, don't need to explain. Heatran, they're kings of the volcanoes, essentially. Regigigas, already explained. Cresselia is representative of dreams, meanwhile, Darkrai, being a mythical, is representative of nightmares. But Cresselia is supposed to specifically represent the crescent moon. Darkrai represents the new moon. Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, Keldeo were there when the Great War happened, separating humanity and Pokemon, so that way the war would end. Fighting against humanity, so that's a huge legend right there. Tornadus, Thundurus, Landorus were worshipped as gods, with Tornadus and Thundurus being the storm that would strike the soil and enrich the land. And then Landorus would actually take the credit and truly enrich the land. Eventually, Enamorus would be brought in, and Enamorus is spring itself, so mating and life being brought together. Meanwhile, Landorus is the harvest, because autumn. You are correct, Ho and Lugia do represent autumn in some capacity. Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem they were the original dragons. Ernie's Batal Zygarde. There's a lot of legend there. You already know that. Type Null and Steel Valley were made in Arceus' image. The Tapus are nature themselves, as they derive their power from nature. And if you watch the Pokemon Alola anime, they just say it all the time that nature gives us power, and we should give back to nature. We should be one with nature, which is why Ash gets the power of Alola and becomes a champion in Alola as well. Cosmog, Cosmoem, Solgaleo, Lunala, they were all the first Ultra Beasts, technically. But they also opened the world to Ultra Space. Necrozma itself, having the legend of being the one that burns the skies and all that stuff. Zacian, Zamazenta, Fairy Tales, pretty strong. Eternatus, Darkest Day, Kubfu and Urshifu are primary legendary where they come from, but primary legendary where they come from, but they used to live in Galar. I forget exactly why they're super legendary and everything like that. Calyrex is there, was for the original Darkest Day and was the king of the lands. Glastrier and Spectrier. I just realized something. Is this still? It is. Okay. I don't really know. And Amber's already said. Ruin Quartet. Their legend goes back to a land that we aren't even aware of. Koraidon, Miraidon were the first Paradox Pokemon in our world. The Loyal 3, Okidoki, Munkidori, and Pheasantipity, Ogerpon, Petront, they all tie together in their whole legend. Terrapagos brought us Terrestrialization, and then the Galarian birds. Legendary birds. They're the ones that really do represent fall, if you wanted to keep it strict to the birds representing anything. Anywho, I just blitzed through it. Yeah, it took me 5 to 10 minutes to explain all of that, and then I'm probably gonna make a 3-hour video one day. Haha. I just hyper focused on that. I'm sorry, y'all. Soldier, not Lester Pearl. Oh, yeah, you're right. Just in one town, therefore, that dude in Sinnoh League with Latios. No Latios there. At least 5 Genesect, which is a mythical Pokemon, oddly enough. Magearna, also mythical. Maybe legendaries are just typically ace. Some of them, I'm sure, are. There's more than one Regigigas, too. One sealed in Sinnoh, one sealed in the Crown Tundra. I want to believe that, but it's also really hard to know for sure. It would make sense with the lore of what Regigigas is based off of, though. One Contractor probably came from Ultra Wormhole. That's also possible. A lot of people. That was a theory. I think I covered in the Iceberg series. A lot of the repeat legendaries come from Mirage Spots or Ultra Wormholes or just alternate timelines. When it did, that makes 2, not counting the regular Reggie sealed around it. That too. Talking about all this lore makes me want to work at Nintendo. I'll be the aunt that works at Nintendo, but for real. There's Reggies used by the Frontier Brain in the same game. You can catch them too. Yeah, there's a lot of argument on multiple legendaries. There's definitely multiple Cosmog and Cosmoem, because Solgaleo and Lunala beat the ever-loving piss out of all the Tapus, and then dumped their children onto Alola to protect them. The interesting thing about the Frontiers is that this was a conversation that happened in one of the servers, is that the Frontiers all rent their Pokemon, and Regigigas can take control of the Reggies immediately back whenever they want, which is also shown in the anime, so there's a good chance that they're just taken and then taken back. Hard to know for sure. It would match the theme of renting Pokemon. Nosepass hunts Trubbish because it is a mineral A group. That... They don't even exist in the same areas, I think. Also, even though they're in the mineral A group, Trubbish is primarily organic material. My dad is Mr. Game Freak. Can confirm that Whooper is actually the real god of Pokemon, and Arceus is just a sauce book that got stuck in a fancy fence. Definitely were multiple sets of Regirock, Regice, and Registeel made by Regigigas, Regieleki, and Regidrago. Maybe unique, though. I'm willing to believe that there's multiple of them. Either way, there's literally stopping Arceus from just making an army of Dialga and Palkia. Facts. Assuming it is indeed power enough to create the whole universe. Facts. Also, multiple Heatran and Terrapagos. Yes. Yes. There's a really, really, really cool, theory that Heatran, was originally an anvil god of the volcano, and if there are 7 or 8 volcanoes in the Pokemon world, which there aren't, that we've at least had Heatran at, and you bring all of the Heatran together, they would form back into this greater deity. I talked about it in the Iceberg video. I think it's in part 3 of the Iceberg. Super fun idea. I did not come up with it myself. I do credit somebody from Reddit with the idea. Super duper fun. Super incredibly fun idea that I'm all for. Oh, hey, it makes even less sense that you can't breed Solgaleo and Lunala. Yeah. Big Daddy Gigas. Apparently the plate's inscriptions imply that Arceus split itself into Dogapalki and Giratina, so it probably couldn't do it again. I've never... I don't think it split them into them. I think it granted its power. Think of, like... Mimic the image of your god to obtain a modicum of their power, which is what the 3 of them do. And parts of them can mimic parts of Arceus. Arceus itself is one of the many thousand arms, which is confirmed, and the one true Arceus is energy, pure lights, whatever you want to call it, I guess. Origin forms literally form puzzle pieces of itself. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I should have read that before I said what I said. Festus, is that you? So Lunala may not be able to breed in our dimension. It can only breed in their home dimension, dropping off their eggs in ours like reverse salmon. I don't even know if they drop off eggs. I think they just flat out dropped off. I think they flat out dropped off the little nebbies. So lots of Kyogres and Groudons out there too. I'm not sure about that. If you're talking about the Emerald Tower, or whatever the heck it's called, in Johto, that is confirmed to be a resting spot that people of Hoenn built for them. Super HA Pokemon's not uniques. True, but we don't have confirmation there's multiple of them. But there could be. There's definitely multiple Keldeo, but that's also a mythical. Main legendaries like Kyogre, Groudon existing in other regions kind of has to be a multiverse stuff. They're way more important than the ones like Tornadus and Articuno. There is more than one in the anime. So the gods don't usually care about pregnancy stuff. They can just out babies without needing to breed. Yeah, there's also that. There is also that. There's a lot going on here. Okay. I'm productive this stream. Ultra Beasts can't breed in general, so Solgaleo and Lunala are confirmed to just create more Cosmog. Oh, I'm sorry, in safe dimensions like Alola. Interesting. I will argue this. In the games, Ultra Beasts cannot breed. Pheromosa releases pheromones, which is likely to call other Pheromosa or whatever its male counterpart, quote-unquote male counterpart is. It's female presenting, while Buzzwole is male presenting. They are Ultra Beast 02, both of them. Take it as you will. You know what all legendaries have in common? They are the only Pokemon that can stop a Golurk. Facts! I talk about that in the legendary Pokemon video. I say exactly that, buddy. I got you. Especially considering the wild sexual dimorphism between Solgaleo and Lunala. Yeah, there's some strong sexual dimorphism between them. Alola's one of my favorite regions. They have invasive species of all kinds. They have some of the best, like, small storytelling, big storytelling. I love it. I love it. Alola is in terms of playing it, might not. Oh man, Ultra Moon was so good though. Put a gun to my head. Would I want to play Ultra Moon, or would I want to play Heart Gold? Ultra Moon. Pokeballs don't work well on Ultra Beasts because DNA doesn't match well, but Ditto can still replicate them perfectly, so Mew should be able to. So they should also somehow descend from Mew. From a Mew. Agreed. Pokeballs are confirmed to have a hard time finding the DNA within Ultra Beasts, but Pokeballs can work on Ultra Beasts, and that's my #1 argument for why Ultra Beasts are Pokemon, also because they're in the Pokedex. I have some people who are like, Ultra Beasts aren't Pokemon, I refuse to accept it, and I'm like, bro, you're just let it go. Just let it go. It's okay. They're Pokemon. They're Pokemon. All Pokemon are born for eggs. Why does Nuzleaf have nipples and Incineroar has a belly button? I got nothing, man. The cut down of the cutscenes would be the best by far. Can't you, like, skip most of them at this point? I forget. I don't know if Electric has anything to say about it. Could solo a Golurk with a warm-up and a couple of mints. In lore, though. I've talked about Gorbis and Huntail and how Clampo is just their egg. Seedot, Torcat, the Pokemon from other dimensions. Yes. I mean, Seedot and Torcat don't have nipples and a belly button, so maybe... That's why future paradoxes are organic and not robots. Yeah, I think your argument was that Pokemon can adapt to their environment. Which I think, which is something you said was specifically stated by Professor Juniper within Black and White, which was something that I found to be awesome. And I think I mentioned that in one of my videos. I can't skip Sun and Moon cutscenes. Yeah. Gotta vanish to some work meetings. Have a great rest of your stream. Can do, Carrie. Thank you for being here and dropping in. Best of luck with the work meetings. Pokemon Snap, there is no Ekans. Why is that? I almost just dropped an F-bomb. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Is there Ekans and a Alola? OG Sun and Moon, no. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, yes. Living snakes are found on every continent except for Antarctica and on most smaller land masses. Exceptions include some large islands such as Ireland, Iceland, Greenland, and the islands of New Zealand, as well as many small islands of the Atlantic and Central Pacific Oceans. So that's probably why. That's actually probably why, because it's actually Central Pacific. Yep. So if I were to place Pokemon Snap's Lentil region, it'd be close to the equator, with the northernmost areas reaching into away from the equator, just enough so they could get snow, which is a wild thing to say, but whatever, bear with me. And that's why it would probably be in that mid-Pacific Ocean area, and that's probably why they don't get it. Jim explains in Black and White. Yeah, I remembered right. 3-4 future paradoxes, weapons of war made from the Pokemon fossils after when extinct in alternate universe where areas of a meteor caused complete extinction. So, what's fun about that is the robotic versions of the Swords of Justice is incredibly messed up, and I believe that they are weapons. I believe that they are weapons. Anyways, the paradox timelines aren't really real, so... Ooh, they're real... they're just... Think of it this way. If the creature existed in an alternate timeline parallel to ours, and the timeline existed exactly as ours did, then that thing would exist in our timeline at some point in time as far as the past paradox Pokemon would go. The difference is it would not be genetically related to any Pokemon in our timeline because it's from a different timeline, and as such does not share any of the exact DNA sequences or blood that our Pokemon in the modern day of our universe have. It's such... I really need to do a Paradox Pokemon video, man. I need to do a Paradox Pokemon video so badly because, dear God, I've explained it a million times, and it's wild. It's... Oh, I kicked my camera. And it's just wild. Eken's a little route, too. God dang, you got it good. No proof they aren't real as of yet, though. In the anime, I'm pretty sure they basically confirmed that they're not dreams, I think. Oh, maybe created by Tropicos from the dreams of people. I think in the anime, they basically confirmed that they're not dreams. Ultra Space and Paradox Dimensions are different. The Paradox Dimensions are much like our own, while Ultra Space seems to diverge a lot. Yes. So the Paradox Dimensions are like, here's us. We have a door on either side. We've opened the door to our left to go to the past. We opened the door to our right to go to the future. These are parallel timelines that match ours with very small variations between them. And that's why you can take a Pokemon from the past timeline and it doesn't affect our timeline because you went to the past of a different timeline of a different universe that parallels our own, so that way it doesn't create an actual true paradox or doesn't create a mess or destruction or ceases existence of life as we know it for that species. Because when we look at a paradox, it seems seemingly impossible at first, but when you look closer, it is something that is deemed to be true. That is the definition of a paradox. Want to make them falls created by Topagos, but not falls. Because there's quite a few cutscenes, but really not that bad. Pokemon games can be completed in just an afternoon, even just playing casually. Meanwhile, most RPGs take days to finish. I am not completing a Pokemon game in an afternoon. Holy crap, you're zooming. Whole Paradox Pokemon included in Ecology? Oh, I will. Ultra Space seems to be able to access a complete different universe, alternate timelines, like what Hoopa's rings lead to, so Paradox timelines would definitely be separate. Paradox alternate timelines, Ultra Space, alternate dimensions. There you go. We still got cases like the Fallers that come through the Ultra Wormholes of all the worlds, and Ultra Ruin, which is just an alternate Howell City. I am going to talk about alternate universe, Howell City here in this video. Fallers, God, I want to make a video about Green being the Faller, the dead Faller. It's why Red and Blue are there. Giovanni is there. It's because they all came from, they're not from that timeline. They're just not. And I just want to break into that. I've talked about it in the Iceberg video, but damn, do I want to make that. Like, when you break it all down, it's a possibility. If you complete Pokemon game in the afternoon, I argue you're not getting the most out of it. If you're just playing it to play it and like, just to smash through, go for it. I've done it a couple times on the channel on streams. Could be from the same timeline. If taking a Pokemon from the past to present, you wouldn't know how it affected the present because the past would have changed it, making it so that way it, like, fixed whatever it missed. You still have Multiverse, so just split time is created by the Ultimate Weapon. Remember Reflection Cave right next to Geosench Town as well? Yeah. Present would have always been that way. Time bullshit. I should stop swearing. I feel like I've sworn a couple too many times. But, man, it's... Time is wild, dude. You have Diancie there, too. Bootstrap Paradox of sorts. Destroy license gift. Hey! Why are you destroying my license? What did I do? What did I do? I didn't say anything wrong. Character limits on YouTube chats are annoying. You get like 250 characters. Yeah. If I could change it, I'd be willing to. Sorry too much. Yes, Professor. Hey! Wait, did Amazed Dragon create a Pokedoku? I know Toby did. Can anybody just create a Pokedoku? Did Necrozma's Light create the Ultra Beasts? Mage Dragon dropped a video. Broski's popping with those videos too. Fantastic editing. I should be cleaning right now and I'm not. That's the paradox. No character limits would be ripe for trolls. Pokemon Anime Lugia has a kid. Why? Why not? Why not? I'm gonna have to, that's a, gosh, really, a 25-minute video. Goodness gracious, Mage Dragon. I'm gonna have to watch that later. I'm already gonna say yes. I'm already going to say Necrozma's Light did help create the Ultra Beasts. Maybe not create them 100%, but helped them flourish. And that could be a very fun video. Lots of Deoxai around? Yeah. Yeah, there are. I'm going to say Deoxai immediately. Save my breath. Whooper's not because of pollution. It's Paldean form. Stonky, Nope, Scorpion, Nope. Excuse me. And sorry. Alright, I don't think I have any other leads. I think in Alola, the manga, they insinuate that Buzzwole are the female and Furmos are the male in that species. Really? Huh. Regardless, Paradox Beasts confirm that Paradox Mons aren't from our timeline. Yes. Not only do they contradict their origins, but they were explicitly stated to be made-up depictions in the book. The hard part about it being made-up depictions in the book is that there's a lot of things that are said not to be real. But they are in the Pokemon world, right? Also, none of them show up in fossil records. Fluttermane is an ancestor of a spirit. So those entries, don't listen to those. Those primarily come from the Occult magazine, which are just rumors in the world. So a lot of those. There's a lot of on-purpose misinformation about these Pokemon, which is exactly why I have not done a video on them yet. Gotta confess, I only watched 5 episodes of the new Pokemon anime. The characters got my nerves so bad. Really? I have not watched any of it. Oh, I could talk about Ghastly. I mean, I already kind of did. It's not really a pollution Pokemon. I mean, I already talked about, like, how it forms in the manga. How many pages? We got 18 pages of notes here. Okay, I think I can move to Galar. I think I can move to Galar as a whole, and then close out with Howoli in the alternate timeline, and Alola as a whole. Yes. Yes. Okay, I think that's the plan. The entirety of Galar. What is going on, Savior? I have no idea what you just, if I say that out loud, that is someone's wake-up phrase. That is someone's activation phrase. Whatever that is, I'm not saying it out loud. If I say that, I'm gonna get shot by someone. That is an activation phrase right there. I enjoy the new anime. It gets better when Dot is introduced. I do actually really like Roaring Moon. It supports the theory about Mega Evolution being primal genes being awakened in a Pokemon, even if it's technically not Salamance's ancestor. Shabingo. Shabingo. There's a lot of Mega Pokemon that support that. Altaria, Ampharos, not Sceptile. Maybe Sceptile. I'm not sure. Aerodactyl. If they would confirm that the ancient water Pokemon, unnamed ancient legendary water Pokemon, or whatever you want to call it, from the anime, is Mega Gyarados. That. Also, the music looped. Upbeat Pokemon music. To motivate you to study, sure. God! Swung! Full swing. There's way more than one of each legendary beast, so Ho-Oh didn't really create them, just revived and the dead Pokemon as legendary beasts. I mean, in the anime, there's the regular and shiny ones. From the games, there's some in Ore, some in Johto. Yeah, the regular shiny ones, the shiny ones that appear in the Zoroark movie throw me off so much. In Ore, doesn't Ho-Oh come to rain hell upon the people who took the legendary beasts at the end of it? Because weren't they just kidnapping Pokemon left, right, and center? Lugia being the biggest example. The multiverse. We don't want to have to explain multiple of the same legendary running around, please. I'm sure I am willing to accept that there are multiple Pokemon both within the universe and because of the multiverse. Pokemon has often shown that one answer is not the way to go, and that usually there are multiple answers that are the solution to our problem. I'm running out of my water, which is probably good. That's not supposed to happen. Did the top layer of the metal inside the cup come? I have metal in me, probably. Oh, well. Either that or that's just tarnishing, which is also something that shouldn't happen. That ruins the antibacterial qualities of that, I'm pretty sure. Fuck. I'm gonna die anyway someday. I assume the Zoroark movie gave the beast shiny form just because kids can tell the Zoroark apart from the beast when it uses illusion. That could also be part of it. It's still such a weird thing to do. I love this thing so much. I do believe in multiverse theory, IRL. Oh, I'm sure it's gotta be. I'm willing to believe it. Cause of death, metal poisoning. I just buy Snackworth with every single cell in my body. What do you mean your snacks attract gods? Just bring back Koopa and be done with it, or do something with the time machine, good lord. Nosepass does eat. I will support that. Nosepass does eat other metallic Pokemon or other mineral-based Pokemon. Time energy. Don't do this to me, Mew. Don't fucking do this to me. It's the end of the stream. I can swear as much as I want. I shouldn't. I need to stop. Girl literally captures a Suicune and doesn't recognize Ash, so it can't be the same. Yeah, I would love that to be the case. Time energy. No! No! Keep it away! Keep it far away! In Black and White, you could only get Zoroark by transferring in shiny legendary beasts. Facts, which was cute. It's a reference to the movie. Okay, Galar. Always makes me think of Demon Slayer. Every time. I can't wait for those movies to come out. I cannot wait for those movies to come out. The enemy continuity, at least Ash's run, is kind of stupid. Ash searches up a coughing in Black and White despite having been pestered by one for the entirety of Kanto. Yeah, continuity gets weird with it. It gets weird. I try not to put too much weight into whether or not people recognize Ash or not, and just, I don't even know what to do, man. I don't even know what to do. I guess Celebi is the guardian over the time energy, as those portals appear just for Celebi. That makes sense. So not just time continuity, but time energy also. Point being, Hoa might not have created them, and they could actually descend from the past Paradox's beast. Could. You know, the community likes to believe that they're EVs. Which makes a lot of sense, and maybe that was the original idea. But maybe it wasn't always that way. Let's see. Nosepass hunts Sableye? I'm not sure about that one. Maybe we just put a big metal plate over areas here. Forget about everything that lives in there. We move on with our days. They'd all bust through that metal plate, and we all know it, unfortunately. Let's see. I'm going to put a little bit of the history of Galar. Just copy paste. Oh yeah, the horses from Galar are legendaries because they're freaking tyrants that took the king, the fairy king, to take down. The VGC players would enjoy Flutter may never show up again. Fortunately, Flutter cannot be stopped. It will dominate competitive in both singles and doubles. Cackles derangedly. Temporary history. I don't want that. Okay. The darkest day itself is similar to what we see in extreme events such as what made the dinosaurs go extinct. Because it's important to remember that with the final extinction of dinosaurs, that it wasn't instant. Instead, it started out with a meteor that kicked off a slew of events. I gotta actually consult my prehistoric world of Pokemon video script. There it is. Waves of lava. There it is. Global warming goes wild, 300 foot tall. Wait, hold on. Nope, that's not the Jurassic. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. There's Cretaceous period. Fall of Eternus. Okay. About 20,000 years ago, meteorite containing Eternus fell into the Galar region. We know that had a massive impact at the time. This is not when the first darkest day did occur, but with an asteroid as large as Eternamex, you understand the sheer amount of damage this would have caused. This may have been part of what kickstarted the Ice Age, but before we get to that, first Claydol. Oh no. Yes. Maybe. Okay, nope, Eternus is separate. Okay, hold on. I'll show you a short meteor crash down, spinning a Yucatan near Peninsula, Mexico, now named the Chicxulub crater. This meteor will also be the one that kickstarts the extinction of any of our ancient Pokemon that are not able to adapt fast enough for our upcoming changes. When this meteor strikes, causes a massive impact, earthquakes in the area, volcanoes erupt, or send out lava that is deadly, but the biggest kicker is something we would equate to the darkest day in Galar. For when the volcanoes erupt, it's not just one or two, but tons of them, as they were already prepared to burst, but the meteor helped speed things up. Sky is blotted out thanks to a ridiculous amount of pyroclastic material paired with deadly gas, meaning if you could withstand the gas, you now had to withstand a changing environment as everything was dark and cold for a very long time. Even those in the water weren't safe, as superheated geysers may have been erupting at the time. This was not a one-and-done instant extinction. This was over a great amount of time. Yup. I am straight up copy-pasting that from... in comparison, I should catch up with chat here. I know it's supposed to be the alternate timeline theory, true, but I'm 100% 100. You can explain every past paradox as part of the main timeline one way or another. That's the beauty of it. It's that I think I explained it in my ancient, in that ancient or prehistoric world of Pokemon video, which is they are exactly what should exist in our timeline, but they are not, because they're in a different timeline. That's it. That's it. And there's a lot of fossil records that we just don't know about in Pokemon. We know Dragonite. We know our fossils. Not a lot else. Not a lot else when we look at the museums, at least. Forgot it can pass through walls. Fluttermane could go through walls. Suck on that, Luxray. Just like Sogalina and Lunala, Huo and Lugia seem to represent the sun and the moon. Ho is more obvious, but also the moon controls the tides, and you have Espeon, Umbreon, Day and Night Cycle. Yes. They are even more representative of, oh gosh. I talk about it at some point. I can't remember this. I can't. My brain is going fried. It's Fluttermane's spirit. Pokemon Center for Ecology, you just realized something. Hey, good, nice. Were you to celebrate to go back 20 years and officially remove Heat from the timeline, none of this would be happening. Actually, you are correct. What if then people imagine Celebi's kidnapping people and Terrapagos made that a thing? Volcanic traps in Siberia? Yep. Mega plastic straw would make sure that boy properly goes extinct. Holy crap. Volcanic traps contributed. Got it. Even fossils aren't extinct. They're common AF in the Crown Tundra. Yeah, people have started to mostly agree that might be because of Kara Liss, the scientist who was careless and just slammed the Galar fossils together and created the abominations that she did, and just randomly reviving Pokemon and releasing them into the wild, because there are some Pokemon that are stated to have done that. Kabuto does live in the modern age, though, because it's also a horseshoe crab. I should mention the volcanic traps. So they were at the anti-epicenter of the impact, and they coughed extra smog and ash into the sky. Oh! So that's where all the... Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Near, if the meteor peeling off the crust of the Earth wasn't enough. Siberian... Volcanic traps. Volcanic traps in Siberia. Okay. Are you scared of... I assume you mean Regigigas now. Nah, there's no reason to be scared of such a slow-starting individual. You know what? I want to look at the Pokemon Center. Did they ever restock for Regigigas? I haven't checked the Pokemon Center in a while. They released all the Alola... released a ton of Pokemon Alola sleeping... Oh my god. Sitting cuties. Say the words. Mouth. Goodness. And I never looked into it, man. I should have. I should have. They had all the Ultra Beasts. Oh, are they still popping? Are they still doing it? Oh! Oh, don't take us back! Oh, okay. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, those are Poke plushes, though. What about the sitting... No, 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 no. It's all about the sitting cuties, baby. All about the sitting cuties. All about the sitting cuties. Where's Kalos, Unova, Sinnoh, Kanto, Hoenn, do they... What? Excuse me? Zygarde? I already have a Zygarde, but that could have the other forms of Zygarde. No. What about Alola? Alola? Wait, do they not have the sitting... I thought they were doing that. Did they not release it? The Soda Plot plushes are really cute, too. Ultra Beast Ball. Holy crap, that looks amazing. Wait, did they not release it yet? Oh, I guess it's not released yet. Really? Really? Hold on, I'm gonna look up Stakataka, because I know that was one. Okay, they haven't been made yet. Okay, sorry, I had to look, y'all. I had to look. I am just as much of a consumer as you guys sometimes, if not more. Is the amount of fossil Pokemon oddly low? There should be so many more. Also, did Rayquaza even attempt to stop the meteor that crashed on Paldea? Probably not. Yes, and probably not. Long story short. Siberian tribes were doing a dino climate change. It was getting hotter, then the meteor happened, and suddenly got super cold. Which means that dinos had to switch momentum. If the meteor was packed with Tropicus energy, it would have probably been hard to do so. We're adapting to warm climates to cold climates. Huh. And Tropicotes from Earth, though? Yes. Hi, Odie. You just came to my hand. Hello. What's up? What's up, girly? What's up, girly? What's up? What's happening? What's popping? Tropicos didn't get wiped out by the meteor. They got wiped out by a shift that they all just kind of fell into the earth or some weird crap like that. I was so close to saying that that was the equivalent of the Chicxulub crater, and I was so upset when I couldn't prove it 100%. But, I'm pretty, oh my god. Ode, you're like on the wire, girl. I'm a nerd about how the dinos died. That's cool. I've had to educate and re-educate and then re-educate myself again. I feel like you would enjoy this then, Ash. I got to email with, Steve Brasati. I got to email back and forth with Steve Brasati when I made the original Pokemon Ancient World video. Which was pretty nice. And if anybody doesn't know who Steve Brasati is, he's worked with a lot of... he's a paleontologist, archaeologist, primary paleontologist, if I remember correctly. He's worked with a lot of other very well-acclaimed paleontologists firsthand. And archaeologists firsthand, and is also the primary consultant regarding dinosaurs within the Jurassic movies, Jurassic Park movies, and Jurassic World. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's weird sometimes that like dinosaur behaviors are kind of translated, but I mean it's also dinosaur behaviors are always speculative anyway, so it is what it is. Rayquaza be sleeping on the job a lot. Yeah, it kind of does. Same goes for Lentil Region, because Xerneas stopped that meteor. Talking about... Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Definitely think Tropicos was really from space before settling in the other depths. It's called Stellar type, after all. It's a possibility. I can't deny it at this point. What's also interesting is that the stellar typing and everything like that does relate back to meteors and the fact that iridium is only found on our planet in excess amounts after a meteor has crashed into a specific area. And Tropicos, like the stellar phenomenon, everything like that, can be described similarly to iridium. Or at least specifically Tropicos' version. I think watching Dinosaur Train as a kid has some side effects. Big phenomenon causing legendaries are also both from space. It lines up. Okay, got it. Yeah, it's kind of been a consistent thing happening here. Archeops, we love you. Archeops is my favorite. I'm actually supposed to be getting a tattoo because people donated an excessive amount of money a couple months back. I say a couple months back as in 2 months back because of the fact that I've been trying to talk to tattoo shops and no one's been getting back to me. But I'm supposed to get a Lucario, a Gengar, because the community got to choose one, and an Arcan or Archeops on me. Which Archeops is my favorite fossil because of its relation to the Archaeopteryx. I thought Chingling, Eastman, Chop were having a type advantage over it in Gen 4 Ecology. Nope. Never watched Dinosaur Train, but I did watch a show called Harry and His Bucket Full of Dinosaurs. Wow! I never watched that, but I forgot that existed. The Cosmate is from Ultra Space, which is a little different. Yeah. It's kind of like the space in between the universes, it seems like. Tingling just consuming a champ is really funny to me. It is kind of funny, I'll admit. Alright, I need to get off the... Oh, they added new Soda Pop plushes? Why am I a consumer, dude? Oh my god, they have such a cute Jirachi, but I already have a Jirachi, so I don't need another one. I still don't have a Togepi plush, dude. I need to fix that so bad. I need to get a Togepi. Like, that's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Top 10, man. Top 10. They got a Larvitar. Might need a Plusle. They got a Bidoof. That's adorable Bidoof. That's about as cute as Bidoof gets. That Politoed is funky. Duocean's there. Porygon's there. Why don't they just make a Porygon too, dude? Bounce Sweep being one is adorable. I'm all in on that. Marill having one. Mudkip having one. Piplup. Piplup. I need Togepi. Where's the Golurk plush? You know what? You're right. Hold up. They do not have a lot of Togepi merch, dude. Holy crap. They have a hat? Togepi partner plush hat? One size adult? What? Golurk. Actually, I have to go to City. Togepi. There's no Golurk products on the Pokemon Center store. No way. That has to just be... Hold on. There's no way. That has to have just been the wrong section. Did I miss my opportunity to get a Golurk plush? I could buy it elsewhere. Not from Pokemon directly. I'm not surprised Pokemon Company hates them. It's so unfair. It's such a good song, by the way. Such a hype song. Actually, it's not as hype as it is just strong. Can't forget the Kartana trainers. Love the Kartana trainers. They are the Kartana ambassadors, essentially. They don't put them in Pokeballs. And they defend their, like, Zen Garden world. It's awesome. Nimble actually defeats their crossbow canonically. You see Bug defeats Psychic. Arceus also is my favorite fossil. Not that there's much competition. I'm not a big fan of most fossils or rock types in general. That's fair. That's fair. I think it's Archeops or Arcan. I'm a knight, not Omastar. The rest of them are neutral. I mean, I like them, but they're not like, you know. You know what I mean? Arceus' closest thing to a raptor Pokemon aside from Walking Wake. Yes. Remember when Rayquaza fought a Deoxys and actually sent a meteor crashing onto a Alola and did nothing to stop it, and random Kartana had to save today? Was it the one that caused that? Cultural erasure. The ancient Unovans who built Golurk have been tarnished! Pokemon Company definitely hates me. I work on fan games. Oh. And the writing and sprites. Oh, what game? Hold up, what? Got my curiosity. It's about to be 5 o'clock. I wonder if the lady is going to call me. I've done so little work since starting stream, but you know what? I'm okay with that. This was nice. I'm ahead of schedule for my stuff anyway. I don't really care. There's one thing I have to do tomorrow early in the morning. Just remembered. Because I didn't do it today. Golurk is the only Pokemon that is missing from the Pokemon Center store. That hurts physically. There's Stunfisk plush even. Yeah. I heard Soda Pop while doing dishes. Mew running in through the window. It's like the reverse of the Scott Pilgrim meme. Hey, is Scott here? He just left. Quasar and Zygarde suck at their jobs, bro. Why did Arceus hire these guys to protect Earth? Zygarde waits till the last moment to do anything. That's why. Zygarde's like, everyone else has got this handled. Oh shit, they don't? Fuck. Alright, fine. Does he eat Fun Dream? I put a touch of work into Sea Glass and on a real-time RPG, like the real-time battles in ZA. Ooh. Pokemon Sea Glass. I've never heard of that. Unless that's not what it... Emerald Sea Glass. Oh! Oh. Oh. I've clicked on Sea Glass before, apparently. Oh, it's so bright. Oh my goodness. Butterfree is Bug Psychic. Blastoise is Water Steel. Sunflora is Grass Fire. Deserved. 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 Minigames, quality of life, type effectiveness display, revamped HM system, Pokemon Box Link, shiny odds and charm. Is it just better Emerald? It's just better Emerald, sounds like. New legendary Pokemon. Interesting. Interesting. Thoughtfully crafted reimagining of the classic game. Nostalgic experience with enough new content to keep even the most seasoned Pokemon veterans entertained. Retro-inspired visuals and expanded Pokemon roster, new battle mechanics, mini-games, and quality of life improvements. This hack provides a fresh yet familiar journey through the Hoenn region. Whether you're looking for new challenges, unique features, or simply a nostalgic trip back to the world of Pokemon Emerald with some exciting twists, Pokemon Emerald Sea Glass is the perfect adventure. Ready your team, explore the updated Hoenn, and experience the Pokemon Emerald. Experience Pokemon Emerald like never before. Nemo did all the work. And fan-made website for the fan-made game. Not affiliated with... Okay, got it. Not affiliated with everything. Okay. Interesting. This was just a review that somebody had of it. Oh, well, wild. It's really pretty, huh? Wonder what started the Oxys Rayquaza beef. The Snaky Boy won't stand for Lizard and the whale fighting, but he goes ballistic at the alien tentacle boy. Foreign material breaking through the ozone. Meteors have caused incredible destruction onto the planet before. That's all I can think of. Really pretty. Got real big a couple months back. Where was Zygarde when his homie Yveltal got plunged into super ancient Ox Court of Extinction? He's just like, yo, it'll be fun. Just made like 2 sprites though. Nemo did all the real work. Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey, yo, that's okay though. You take pride in those 2 sprites. Zygarde chilling in Alola. Terminus Cave taking a snooze. Oh yeah, that's another reason why people connect Zygarde and Guzzlord together. It's because of Terminus Cave. They both appear in the same cave. You should talk them into a Golurk update. Oh, also, y'all be on the lookout. And by lookout, I mean, Biggins and I got to do a Soul Link for a Golurk. A little fun Golurk game that he found. Gotta go now. See ya, Whoop Zipra. Thank you for being here. You have a great rest of your night. I should probably get going soon, too. The lady's probably going to call me, even if she doesn't. I'll actually probably focus on what I need to write, because what I'm going to write with Galler is going to be a lot of... I'm trying to make this video a lot more like how I did some of my other videos, like the Divine Truth video, where it's a lot of just really, really the good details and bringing it together. I don't know. It's hard to say. Don't know how to describe. Favorite ROM hack has to be Emerald Crest. Actually in the middle of a playthrough? Oh. So you guys ain't getting any more updates. They're working on a fan region fan game. Take your #1 spot. Pokemon Golurk Rising. It's a Gen 2 style fan game. Yes. Yep, you're taking spot. Nearly midnight where I am, and I've got this new night shift. I gotta attend at some pizza shop. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Must make as many as possible. Live Krillic yawn. Don't make me yawn again. I'm amazed I haven't yawned that much. I'm also amazed I didn't start coughing randomly. I might finally be physically recovered. If not today, then tomorrow. It has been what feels like almost a month of me being, like, sick and then recovering from being sick. Why I've been, like, dying whenever I cough. It's just god-awful. Genuinely terrible. I actually... Oh, God. Well, it's too late for that. I was going to say, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. I didn't eat after going to the gym, and I don't know what we're eating tonight. Probably leftovers. His body's rejecting playing Pokemon Run and Bun. I'm just taking a break from challenges this next week, and then we'll jump back into it. I'll give Run and Bun a good college try. You and I will do the Golurk Rising. I'll finish off Pokemon Snap. It'll be nice, and then I can... So many videos I have on the process of working through. The Energetic Bear. Wooper line eats Voltorb line. Nah, that's a harsh no. That's a harsh no. That one's a pretty hard no. They don't even exist in the same area. They don't even exist in the same area. Oh, you guys talking about...
The animatronics get a little quirky at night. Little quirky. Hello? Welcome to your first shift at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. I don't know why I gave him such a nasally voice, but here we are. Hello. What's the script? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna grab it. What's the script? Let's see. Telephone guy, FNAF script. Yeah, there it is. Hello. I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually wanted to work in that. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact. So I know it could be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine. So let's just focus on you getting through the first week, okay?
Don't know by heart, fake fan, big facts. I am a fake fan. I've got what games do I have? Freddy's 1 through all the way through the Pizzeria Simulator. Actually, funny enough. I played, what I did was, I did a 5-hour stream. I gave an hour to each one except for Pizza Simulator. And, just to see how far I could get. And I think I only beat 4 within an hour time. I think so. Also, I like how you came out of the lurking to say that, Sandwich Boss. I have a friend who can say the whole Vaporeon copy boss off the top of your head. Lord Almighty. How many times have you called her a furry, at the very least? That's some real furry behavior. Not yucking anyone's yum. It's funny because she's very soft-spoken. So she might as well be doing the uwu speak then, while doing that. Is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I'm grinding at Pokemon Friends. Brain wrinkles must increase. That's what I imagine is happening right now. That's exactly what I imagine is happening right now. No, don't make that joke, Krillic. Don't make a joke about grinding Pokemon Friends. Oops. Let's see. I've lost complete focus. I've had enough caffeine. I've hit the limit of amount of caffeine a human being should have safely, according to the... That is absolutely safe, according to the Health Administration, which is 400 milligrams of caffeine. Measured out. Not even joking. 400 milligrams of caffeine today. I can't accuse her of anything. I'd be a hypocrite. That'd still be funny, though. So I have money to buy the base pack and play a limited puzzle, so I need to make it worth somehow. Is it just a one-time purchase? You know what? If that's how you get through, so be it. If that's your fun, I will never say anything bad about it. I've spent money on stupid things. Oh, there's a lady. Well, guys, I think I am going to go, because the lady is calling me. Which I should have expected earlier. She probably got to work late. She probably wants to vent. So, this was fun. As always, I know this is fast, but don't think I want to do. Don't think I would do. Oh, sorry. Star Science, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. CST. I will schedule it right after the stream, so be there. It's going to be great. But otherwise, as always, don't think I want to do. If they're going to do, please be nice to each other. Love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Oh, no, it's two musics. Oh, and you can still hear me. Oh, no.